Cheap as it could be. Cheaper than ever. So cheap, we're blue in the face about it. Oh, what a week.
Done.
Blue man envy.
I just need to get an iPad running.
Monitoring.
Talk as cheap as live.
Whoa.
Oh,
we live.
Mass network traffic.
Checking. Meep, meep, meep. Space Glider, this is Runaway 1. Can you hear me?
Well, we are in, I think we're live.
What? We haven't come up on the screen yet, so we're sort of pre-live.
Oh, you haven't put it up there?
Pre? Yeah.
No, it said it was. It said, I got a notification.
Picturing, yeah.
From.
Hang on, maybe I need to reset. To see the full glory, I may need to refresh the page. Hang on. Oh, yeah, that's it. I can see it now. Makes you want to whack it hard.
Yeah. Oh, just Twitch. Oh, you've got to open your email and get a little, got a friggin'
thing and provide the, chicken sandwiches on the way through to the silver platter of poopets. Because that's what you worry about, isn't it?
I don't really want to do this.
How many of them mosquito burger patty, special fries, special sauce are you going to have to eat before you're satisfied? That's what I'm wondering. Very nutritious, high in protein. Helps nature.
Okay, so it's over here. Just going to check my network traffic more.
Close inspection. After close inspection.
Well,
I'm glad I figured out the firewall issue pretty quick. I was just like, what's going on?
That's very much change anything. Such a Windows thing to happen.
Wind blows.
Oh, it's firewall. Its firewalls can turn on and off without a wind.
Yeah. Wind blows.
Might do the counting, hey?
Requirements, which are,
something
a certain amount of caffeine for the day. I had one drink and I had pretty much all the caffeine I needed for one day. How about that? That's how magnificent it is.
So it's quite interesting. I'm just watching, just as as we're doing this. So I'm watching the amount going up and down.
Yeah.
And clearly, so for Sonobus, I'm getting a bunch of traffic down.
Of course.
And for OBS, I'm getting a bunch of traffic up. And they have little of each other, very little the other way. Oh.
You didn't bring in Treat, did you? Haven't got Treat? Sorry. Company.
I got to give.
Come in. Thank goodness not bearing any gifts tonight.
I got to get my
pretty good. He'll leave them outside. Leave the bits I need outside. So Papa Smurf demands it from his companions. Everyone loves Papa Smurf. He's the one who brings home the bacon.
Well, I don't know what he brought home really. Sometimes, wow, the network traffic is completely different today.
Yeah, well, you're not using a continuously synchronizing folder tonight.
Well, not only that, I'm also not using VTubing software, which is sending all of its data and then out onto the internet and then sending all of it back.
Yeah. The push and the return.
So I'm just looking at
because I'm logged in, I'm checking it real time.
Oh, why is the OBS helper? Oh, I'm assuming the OBS helper is the thing that's pulling from. So OBS helper must be the thing that's pulling from video.
Yeah, and I got pretty good bit rate on my end, so.
Scene options.
Not really spiking.
Video settings.
You gotta love it when a plan comes together.
1280. I wonder how many. What if it does like a? Oh wow. I wonder if it had a frame rate or anything like that.
Hey! Don't come in frisky. Don't come in frisky. See, I know you've been hunting. Nails will not be tolerated. Elsewise.
I'm gonna copy that link.
The neck and back out.
Safari.
Yeah.
Because maybe Safari was also sending data. Well, if Safari was receiving data. So hang on, I'm just
very proud. It's probably going to be a mess outside.
So that I just dropped some more data.
Yeah.
Because I realized video, because I had a browser running, the video was sending a small, but it was sending a stream to my browser. So I've just killed that. I've got 0 drop frames going up to the thing.
Oh, we didn't do the intro. Welcome to Talk is Cheap, Season 5, Episode 6. Blue Man Special. You're
very blue.
And my hair is very green, and my eyes are very green. I'm feeling very old age, sort of. They who walked among the earth, walked among the people of the earth.
Let's see if I can get.
I think my little bit of silence last week and the whole, Athens wine episode that happened, 2 streams ago. It's sort of in gentle reflection, the anger needed to come out so the love could go back in.
Well, it is the case. Oh, fucking. Now hang on. Now I've got to do the iPad settings. The only problem with my iPad is it's using my network, and I don't really want it to use my network. Maybe I have no.
Pardon me.
Yeah, fuck it. I'm not even going to have a preview.
Whew.
Save that data. Because I want to minimize the amount of stuff. Well, that's coming down. It should be fine. It wasn't going up. So it's all about the up for me.
A tiny bit of breakup on my end, but otherwise, better goods.
The latency is blowing out, though.
I was watching some early Olympics videos, from 30 whatever it was, and went on in 29 or something. The German special, Olympic special, with their favorite leader rocking back and forth in his with excitement.
And What of it? What happened? Anything
Oh,
interesting?
just the whole fact that apparently Joe Rogan on this podcast said that he was high on methamphetamine at the time.
Well, I mean,
It's unfair that back then you could just because it was all new, you could just have your fun, and it was all no problems at all, just enjoy.
That's what I realized about the baby boomers just recently, actually. Was you think about it like, so everyone talks about how, and they were when it was everything was at a price point and everything. So they bought all of the houses, they bought all of the businesses, and they bought all the land, and you're like, oh yeah. Well, they also took all the drugs. Like,
correct.
They were the ones that had Quaaludes, all the things. They were freaking
the full, the frontiers people,
and then
the flower people.
They banned it for everyone else. Yeah, the flower people.
No. We had way too much fun. You guys are not allowed to have any. It's almost like the rules of the old scripture and stuff. Now listen, don't do what we say, but don't do what we do. Okay, isn't it?
Well, I think they wanted people to work for them. They thought, fuck, if our workforce takes those things that
suddenly realizes the advantages of that forward thinking. Well, that they took, and the open-mindedness, you know what I mean?
Well, even not. Like, even if it was just a bit short, the open-mindedness.
Truly knowing love, up close and personal.
Well, I just don't think they wanted us to be drunk or, like, high at work. They just needed to be working. It's like, all right, wait, hang on. We can't have everyone else tuning in and dropping out. Who's going to serve our Scooby snacks?
Yep, exactly.
And so we've all been oppressed by the boomers. There's
not enough Scooby snacks to go around. No. We need you guys to work really hard so we can get the
so we can keep... So those boomers, man, they pretty much took everything.
I can show you how much I
all the drugs.
Get more of the Scooby snacks than you do by the nice car that I drive. Yeah.
So is there anything they didn't take? I mean, like pretty much not. I mean, gaming.
Well, things that would probably kill you. Like they probably didn't take too much poison, right?
Oh no, I mean they took away from us.
Something really hardcore.
Everyone else.
Oh, okay.
Because they're still the ones in power. They're still the ones.
Yeah.
You think about, like, they go out there and vote, and what are they voting for? Then the end of their life,
Pretty much. Who's going to die first?
Well,
we're voting on who's going to die first. Enough from their worries and being the particular position they're in.
Quite a progressive boomer I know was talking to the other day.
But as long as they get their mimbos and bimbos, and everything's right.
And this is the boomer the other day who's very progressive, very progressive. You almost call him an X, even though he's like really boom. Like, but he's a bit X. It's like
I'm borderline boomer because I was of that, the 6-7 age,
Oh, but what's your psychology?
Yeah, well, I got raised by these fucking maniacs, right?
But I'm
X, man. I'm hard. We were the last generation of the beatings. You know what I mean? After that was all lovey-dovey and everyone gets a trophy, motherfucker.
Everyone fucking trophy mode. Well, he was like saying that, he really thought about it. And if he goes out to vote, that he should actually ask, like, millennials or things what they want. And he should vote for what they want because they're the ones who are going to experience it, not him. I thought that was very rare from a
poignant. That's poignant. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean.
Sounds like they're using that Brian.
Oh, they're very much a Brian user. Very Brian using person. Much respect. Rare boomer.
Yeah, much respect for the Brian users. Users of the Brian.
So I think that, I was thinking about the things that they didn't take away from us. And I think it was gaming. Like basically, we had to get to a place and they couldn't understand it, and then they just were like,
got confused. No, it's all too difficult for me. I just, Why do you do that? Well, it's an escape. Thank you very much.
From your
I can spend a couple of hours from the beatings and just enjoy this little bit of a, monotonous fucking graphics on a screen. You know what I mean?
They didn't try. They sort of all looked at us when we were gaming and just were like, oh, okay, what's that all about then? Nothing.
What the fuck's this?
Now they're trying to come out now and say, like, they like put out the reports now. Oh, it's addictive. Oh, it's bad. It does dopamine. You're like, because you get everything with dopamine away from us.
So is everything else, in life, pretty much. If you, overuse it.
So they took away all the dopamine.
Yeah.
Will we realize, though? Here's my question.
And then you jack them up with caffeine and all this other shit.
That you own.
Yeah, of course.
That you own.
That's you're special. Hey, come on, sorry. It's all about the Bugs Bunny in it.
It is.
Everyone loves them little, coins in the pocket, finger pointing at the hand going
hand pointing.
Yeah, finger pointing at the hand. Sorry, I gave out all my fucks. Can I have one fuck back, please?
No. Only if you provide a receipt for the fuck and make sure it is returned in its original packaging.
Oh, yeah. Okay, cool.
I have to deliver it in store, too.
It's going to have to get shrink wrapped. I'm sorry. It's slightly used. Slightly used, but never used at all, right?
Just bring it back to the store.
It just looks used. I'm horrified it turned up in this condition. I blame the delivery guy. Poor delivery guy, man. It's always his fault, isn't it? Just because he's booting the shit out of it on your ring cam, you know what I mean? It's not his fault.
Not his fault. Eh?
Yeah.
What if I can...
That's just special delivery, He's putting that extra, stamp of approval into it.
Data received per second.
Yeah. This is all part of being the, the director isn't it, Si?
Mm.
Like the director has got a lot of responsibilities, and sometimes it's nice just to hand it off so you can be the the colourful character in the scene.
Oh, someone else is responsible.
Yeah, it's much easier when you do it, Si.
I have always.
It's so much fucking easier when you do it. All right.
Yeah.
That's an old quote from a friend of ours.
Friend of ours. I mean,
Yeah.
it's an essential.
Yeah.
In fact, we need to
The
explain
bathing of the blood.
the learnings of like it's easier if you do it.
Yeah.
It runs deep. Like you think about it.
It is deep.
Yeah.
And it is a societal thing, right? Because you've got to think about it.
Yeah.
Someone bats those eyelids, and they've got the the short thing or the long thing or the you know what I mean? Like they can't use the thing or they have problems doing the thing.
Yeah, their lips are too big.
Yeah, way too big. That sort of behaviour. That's right.
Huh.
Bear has been going nuts tonight. He's been like fully psycho mode. Swiped at me a few times. He's angry. Angry companion. What's the problem? Just wants cuddles. The savage beast needs cuddles. It needs humanity. Humaneness.
I'm looking at the things that are
Please
received.
feed me your humaneness.
So, talking about people with disabilities, I was
try
thinking,
not to.
Well, I was thinking about it, like in representation. Representation of people
I
with
help them,
disabilities.
but I don't like talking about it.
Well, just that thing of like you want to have representation. You got black representation, you got yellow representation, whatever. You got like, all the representation. You can, any color skin you want.
What about the people who are multi-disabled?
Well, just in a wheelchair.
On multiple fronts, not just a wheelchair.
Imagine a first-person shooter, but you're in a wheelchair, or you got one leg and you're in crutches, and you're cruising around, and you got your Uzi, and you got crutches, and you're trying to. Or maybe you've got like only like
you want
monocular vision.
one of those things that wraps around your waist and just you can use your one foot to jump around, hop around.
Just a Gatling gun.
You know what I mean? Like just you get double the foot movement because it does both feet in the one movement.
How would you strafe? What if you like ducking around the corner? Like just come in front and get around.
You just come around and just lean in. And just lean in and spin it around while you just hold that trigger down as it's delivering those freedom seeds to people.
Whatever. Like I was thinking about so you've got a first-person shooter, right? And I was thinking about like what kind of disabilities would work in a first-person shooter. I thought wheelchair. Yeah, surely that'd work. Like if you had like a sort of like missing a limb, and so like maybe you'd have like someone with the artificial leg or like leaning against the wall with one leg.
What would you call it? Unabled bodied people? Is
unabled.
That like when you take it away? It's like unabled.
Unabled.
Well, I don't want to say dis because dis sounds a bit
Yeah, I know.
Angry. Like, unabled sounds far better. Doesn't it?
Unabled.
An unabled.
Unable to walk.
Unable to. Yeah, that's it. It feels more sympathetic.
It does.
Like they could be milked a lot harder. From the turtles. The sympathy. Got to think about this as a little blue demon,
So
I'm trying not to channel too much of the last, fortnight's Greek emanations, but after these latest Olympics, like I'm inspired. Like I didn't get angry at all. I just got inspired. Like it's like all bets are off, gloves are off.
What?
It's just taunting time until we all start laughing, and then we'll get it, and we'll go, oh fuck, what a bullshit drama in the first place.
What other kinds of games though? Like let's think about other kinds of games where you could have unabled people representation. Like imagine like a fighter, like like a street fighter or some kind of like. Imagine Prince of Persia, but you're in a wheelchair.
Yeah. Oh, right? I know, and it amazed me that
would you have little
bloodbath to get through all those games. You know what I mean?
No, I mean no, you're missing the point. I mean actually, the character in the game is in a wheelchair.
Oh.
Yeah,
having attachments.
Wow.
Like my apologies. Like,
that's what I'm saying. Imagine a first-person shooter.
Fully going virtual.
No, but the character in the first-person shooter is in a wheelchair.
I often thought about that, Padan. Like you just set it up as a little tank. All right, it would skid steer, press the buttons. There go the miniguns and the rocket launchers, and wow, they're happy days.
Because it would be innovative. Like
a couple of grenade launchers for good measure out the back, like a mortar, so you could take out enemies in advance.
Yeah.
And
I like the skid steer.
Special drone friends.
So you'd have like sort of like the treads could go sideways. Oh, what if you had one wheel spinning, the other wheel spinning, so you're just.
Oh, spikes. So just like fully smashing the ground up, crunching it.
I mean, because they're kind of always in a duck. They're always in a duck position, which is an advantage. But they're
it's always crouch. It's like cat.
They're always in a crouch mode.
Crouch.
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
Yeah, right.
Crouch mode. That's it. Hit cat box and
what about
mode.
someone who is deaf? Like you have a deaf person in a first-person shooter, so you actually just have no audio.
Vibrations. No. You're gonna get vibrated. Mate. There's audio there, but it's fully just low audio, so it fully vibrates their body. That's their haptic feedback becomes their sensor.
And this is the thing, right? Because I think what you start to develop is like you have to develop tech as the game designer for the character to be able to actually play comparably to an enabled person, especially unable. If you're unable to hear, then you need some kind of thing, and then it kind of like would potentially spawn technology back into the real world.
A lot of deaf people appreciate concerts because the bass is up so loud, they feel the vibration of the music. They don't hear the music; they hear the vibration of the music side.
So there you go.
You still appreciate a concert being deaf.
And that's the thing. What about
a different experience? It's a vibrational experience. It's not an auditory experience. So Yeah.
Would like a multi-layer environment? So you're in a first-person shooter, and
Yeah.
then often a thing is like layered environments. So you've got stairs, ladders, things
Yeah.
to get up high.
Well, that's why I talked about the tread. Like you could have the ball wouldn't work upstairs, whereas the tread, if it had some sort of
like a
track which sort of gripped the stairs as it was going up. You know what I mean? Like
those
as soon as you
three-wheel
hit
things
it,
that like what do they call
you
them?
go into the grappler mode on the stair. Yeah, pretty much.
And just lit.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. It just like powers you up the stairs. Chunk.
Correct.
Yeah.
All those little plans have been in the pipe.
Yeah. What about another popular genre of
Unabled
games?
friends will be able to play. Yeah, that's it.
Well, you'd be able to play as an unabled person.
Depending on the amount of unabledness. Like if you couldn't use any senses, like I don't know, talk to Elon. Maybe he'll give you a plug-in.
But once again, in game, like why would
Mm.
he need to give a neural link to someone in the game, like a character in game? It doesn't make any sense.
No. But to have the control and to be able to see and do all the different things in the game being done.
No, you're still thinking about an unabled person playing the game. I'm talking about a blind character in the game.
Yeah, but that's what I'm saying. You used to use it as a.
So you've got no sight,
the
and you're in a
same
first-person shooter.
Yeah. Then you get like echolocations and stuff like that. Sound would be highly amplified. You know what I mean? You could hear people moving at a distance. You could, instead of having you could sense ground vibration per distance away. You know what I mean? Use all that to triangulate where the enemy is.
Okay, so then as the player, you'd need something that kind of like vibrated you. You'd need a haptic. You need it so to play the character, to play the blind person. You have to have a haptic thing, which is just giving you. Because that'd be interesting. Like imagine like a bunch of blind people, like sort of a bunch of blind characters in like a zombie shooter, and so you're trying to survive at the end of the world.
And even
when you're
gloves
blind,
with the gloves with the braille, giving them text directly to their fingerprints. Come on, think about it.
So that would be then the player would have
added text would have the text input. You know what I mean, coming into them.
So the player would then have to have those kinds of gloves to be able to feel the necessary input to
and
play.
And they also have the audio input, so they'd hear.
They would hear. Oh, you'd do it for the hearing.
If they were blind, yeah.
So you'd actually have some kind of sonar system that was like presenting like
pretty
some
much
static image map or something like that.
Yeah. Giving you haptic feedback to the where the almost alien sensing vibrative.
Because it would be unreasonable, I think, to have like the zombie survival game would be kind of cool. Like, because if you were just military,
and it would depend on what kind of materials you're touching would allow, and what the materials in between the boundaries would create echoing and shadowing effects in the sounds, which give you subtleties like there's something in the next room, there's something in the next room and around the corner and underneath this, or next to this.
Interesting. I was thinking the other things I was thinking then was if you had
things.
What about like unabled characters in another very classic genre which people like, which would be like a fighter, sort of like a Street Fighter, Super Smash Bros, something like that, like something like that. So you're on.
That's a big action game. So,
like imagine. So you're there. I mean,
pretty
you're
much.
You're there with your crutches, and it's just like swinging that crush. Boosh, boosh.
Noises coming into you, and just like.
Well, I mean that'd be hard, like because a lot of those sort of fighter games, they're on the side. So if you were
and would those
blind,
fighter games have like bonus, like if you were the blind character, like everything could be slowed down to like a half of what it would be, so a second, or or twice of what it would be. So they have like this slowdown effect. So if you say 60 or a second is like 10 seconds to them, and they're getting all this data, and then they can make a maneuver on that, almost like a chess move. Think about what's coming up to their action they take, and then just banging it in.
Well, the character on the screen.
So the game to everybody else, like it would still run the same, but somehow get it to speed up for the unable player, so they have more.
No, but you're thinking about the enabled player. I'm talking about imagine a fighting game like Street Fighter, but all the characters in it are disabled.
I'd love it.
You keep going back to the player, and I'm talking about the characters in the game and representation.
It'd be like South Park, that one with the cripple fight. It'd be full on cripple fight, wouldn't it?
Yeah,
it'd be South Park.
Well, you want representation. Imagine so you've got a blind character, and I don't know how a blind character would, but someone in a wheelchair.
He's just got a big stick, and all he does is just whack the big stick in front of himself. Wherever there's sound, he just whacks with a big stick.
Yeah. Now you're getting it, right?
I'm getting it.
It's a bit. You don't
took me a while.
I know, but you don't see it. Like I know that like there's aids to help unabled people play games, but I want representation of unabled people in games. So you got like someone with CP, like just doing like drunken karate or something like that, and they're just like,
it'd be going off. I mean, how would you dodge that sort of maneuver? You know what I mean?
Like fully trained, man.
Just kicking your ass. Like, who the hell is this?
This is like just fully, and like all of the arms being in kind of weird bent positions and stuff, like, and so they've just got these really unique moves, that just like don't exist elsewise. Yeah, man, this is like
tongue lashing. Yeah, the Karen tongue lashing.
What is the inability of the Karen?
I want to speak to the manager.
I like how you think that's a disability. That needs
It
representation.
is. I'm sorry. It is a slight social disability. It's called entitlement.
Okay, so there's a whole separate kind of set of games which have like psychosocial issues. So you got like a person with autism and a person with entitlement in like a combat arena. The guy's like fully stimming away, and she's like, "I don't want to fight this guy. Where's the manager?" And that's like the manager comes out.
Coming in a sneaky blow.
Sneaky blow.
You know what I mean? Like,
Stinning.
I'm ready to the
Starts
congressman.
like dinosaur handing. Like,
Grandma touch up.
yeah.
It's a proper child. We are not
just like
amused.
Mr. Height challenge, height enabled folk, just sitting there like just biting kneecaps. I just moves. I mean, and I don't mean it disrespectfully. I truly mean it from a representation perspective.
Of course not.
So you can choose. Like
we
there, like
never want to be disrespectful.
No. Like imagine that. Like you're going through, you're choosing a fighter,
especially to other people's beliefs. That's going to get you in a lot of trouble.
Oh, I'm very disrespectful.
Have a go at someone else's beliefs, especially if you're. Blue and gorgeous. I'm telling you. So I just don't get involved.
So you like scrolling through the character selection screen.
And I'm really sorry about his performance at the Olympics. It was truly a tragedy.
Did you have a sibling at the Olympics? So I don't know anything about the Olympics. So
look, as a blue dude, one of the blue brothers.
So tell me about these blue brothers.
Well.
I don't know. I know nothing.
It was a long time ago. It was a long time ago, Si.
Long time.
No. The story for some have been forgotten, and we're trying to remember it as a culture and as a civilization. We're trying to remember the original story and find the truth in amongst the plethora of the sandwiches. The ones that flies like.
Yes,
that's the hardest part.
So there are blue people at the Olympics. Light blue.
My bro's a bit lighter than me. He's not as dark blue as me because I always keep myself in the sun. I love it. Nips out. I'm that sort of not God. I'm a nips out sort of not God.
Your nips are very discreet, I'm going to say.
They are discreet. It's almost impossible to see. It looks like I'm wearing a shirt right now, but I'm not actually wearing a shirt.
No, clearly not.
Invisible chainmail. It's the Emperor's New Clothes. I always wear the Emperor's New Clothes.
Well, I recommend it. I mean, except when it's
fine.
cold.
It's to be finely dressed.
Otherwise, you need to be.
I mean, it's so fine you just can't even see it. Today only 33 1/3% off. So fine you can't see it. Clothing.
So fine you cannot see it.
You can't see it. No. Emperor's New Clothes. Copyright. 2024. August. Orion.
So the other thing I saw as the Olympics was like the drowning competition where people try and drown themselves to die.
There was effluent in there. Someone said they were swimming through effluent. Like we're not in Bondi, Si.
No, I mean
we're in Bondi swimming with brown trout, right? We're in a first world country. France. We're in a first world country. So what?
Isn't it France?
Effluent and just
some
real respect for that river going on. I'm telling you.
Oh, so what you don't realize?
I feel sad up here in Kingsland, right? That our river's pretty shameful, but the rivers around our big major river is a lot better. Like the rivers around the Kingsland capital, was it Brisvegas? We here in Brisvegas, we love our temperate conditions. It's been like sunny AF the last few days, like almost a week. A few clouds, a little bit of rain here and there, but mild winter, even with the coldness, mild.
Oh, man.
It ain't no minus 57, so like back in Antarctica where the blue people live. That's why we're blue. We're frozen. We're pretty much ice giants. We're blue, so we get the maximum energy from the sun. Your yellow sun.
I see. So that's
yeah. It's our level of photosynthesis living in Antarctica.
Yeah, right.
We are the blue people, are the lovers, the true lovers.
The true lovers of the sun.
We are the Antarcticans. Oh, we can't get enough of it. 24 hours.
It's a pity you guys aren't up in the north, because if you're in the northern hemisphere and you're in the Arctic, then maybe you'd have like the polar bears do. And they're hair fibers.
We know them. They're distant cousins. They're on the other side.
So
some say they're in the middle. Some say they're in the middle. We say they're on the other side from where we are down here.
Oh, they're sort of trans. They're trans people. Trans bears.
No, well, we're the antis and they're the Arctic.
You're the cis and the trans.
Arcties. Yeah.
Because cis means this side, and
the
trans
sine
means
wave.
the trans, like transcontinental, trans bear, trans. So
it's a big train.
But maybe you're trans.
Not many people are on it though. Yeah.
They know that their hair. The polar bear hair is actually like optic fibers. It's hollow, like glass.
I wish it was scintillating like the old days. When the energy was truly pumping through this place. I wish it was scintillating like back then. But
because that's it. Like they actually capture the sunlight.
There needs to be a
pulls the sunlight down their hairs.
A reprint of all the
and just heats them up on a follicle base, follicle per follicle. It's fucking crazy. Those polar bears, they're really something. So I mean,
energetic.
Natural optic fiber networks.
Always willing to make them ice holes to get what they need.
They do. Much more sheet up there. Less sheet where you are, I suppose.
Yeah. No, it's just one big, 11,000 foot ice wall.
Oh, yeah.
It's what's in the middle which is important, you know.
The middle of the ice wall.
The middle of the Antarctica is what's important, you know what I mean? Yeah, it's where all the big gems come out.
They're plopping out, all right. I mean,
Yeah. All night long.
That,
Like you wouldn't imagine how much they pop.
those gems, they're just popping out.
Like they're huge. Like talk about skyscrapers. Like they're just coming out from the underworld. A deposit. It's like bets around the outside.
And they just pop straight out of the ground.
On the great roulette wheel,
Squeeze.
which is the society and the common space in which all intelligent life exists in the universe. Is that a good conspiracy series, thought or not? Si, what do you think?
That the giant
ravings of a madman, perhaps.
Well, you're blue. I mean, you're from there.
Ravings of a madman.
I mean, is it a conspiracy?
Yeah.
Like
I'm
when you
freezing my
come from
balls
there?
off down there. Like you think shrinkage is bad, right? Blue man, we're Phoenician down there, right? We're Phoenician. Our balls and our cock just looks like a little stump on the eternal mound that is the blue giant's life. So it's only when we come down to these cooler places, like come down to where it's like fully
Kingsland.
sunny and just Kingsland. That's why I love Kingsland so much.
So you escaped. Has it allowed
somewhere
your
where you
nub
can
to
really
extend?
soak it in. Like it allows extensions. That's
It
right.
does. So your nub's like sort of like turning into something a bit more viable.
I'm always being the youngest brother of all the Blue brothers, right?
Yeah.
The last of the great Blue brothers here down under. What happened was I was the least endowed, and then I had to go through the cleansing process of the removal of the giant foreskin. Like I was the only out of all the Blue brothers that got circumcised. And I know there's a big blue tire out there somewhere on someone's wall, and I'm not happy about it. I got to say that.
I thought you said it was small. How did it suddenly become big?
Well,
wouldn't it be more like a?
Like this is my
Did it just get
small
lost?
form.
Did it just get lost under the
talking
couch
to you
somewhere?
right now? Like I'm only in my 1/1000th of a size.
You've scaled down so I can
being
perceive
5'11", like I'm actually 5,000 feet tall. Right?
I see.
And 1,100 feet.
So
1,100 meters, right? However you want to look at it. I mean,
sure.
feet,
So
meters,
what you're trying to say
meters,
is that
centimeters,
the circumference, like of a small nub at that size.
Yeah. It probably was one of the
5
original
kilometers.
aircraft tires that lasted like 150 years. They used my blue foreskin as an aircraft tire for 150 years. That's how selfish they are.
Well, I mean, it's less time than the British Museum's stolen shit, so there's that,
Yeah. When aircraft really started 500 years ago, the blimps. I always loved the blimps. They bumped into my head when I was in giant form, right? I used to love them blimps, little blimps, bimping everywhere.
I mean,
bimp.
Did you sort of, you could use them as probably an insert.
You don't swat them, okay? You don't do the mosquito thing and swat them. You sort of push them out of the way. Yeah.
With that little bit at the end, would it be like a butt plug, really, for if you're like 5 kilometers?
If it was
tall?
a bit low, come in low and hard. Ouch.
Well, I mean,
fishing that out
if you're 5 kilometers tall, I can't imagine.
Hopefully, it don't explode, right?
Well, it'll get you going. It'd be like a suppository. You could just cover one in like
it depends
cocaine.
on your level of arousal, Si.
You cover one in cocaine, right? And you just
some blue giants when they've been on the stuff, when they've had the human offerings of the cocaine ground up and put into that special mix, directly, feed the sheep and then eat the sheep and then hello, welcome to paradise. Kingsland all the way.
And is that really what happened to the Hindenburg? Like it's sort of whatever it was. It just.
You'd have to actually ask my brother because that's the one who it happened to, right? That's why it made him spicy. How else would you want to do the Olympics at this time? At this climate of human society. However, would you, if you could be bribed enough to do it, how much would you get paid? Yeah. No, to do my bros, I don't know.
Inserting
Blue world stage insertion, in the Matrix, right? As an avatar, one of the true, giant blue people, from the movie Avatar as well.
Oh, I see. So
we were the non-monkey tail versions. We were the more relatable blue friends, right? The ones that lived on the ground mostly and ate the special mushrooms, right? We had the clubs. They had the big bows and stuff, and we had the clubs. We were more clubby, more clubbers. If required,
And they had the sticks. You were the clubs.
They had the sticks and the bows and stuff. Yeah. They had the big shooty stuff. So we just stayed down the
bottom.
We
wouldn't have much trees down the bottom much. In the Antarctica.
No, they never came down the bottom. They never really interacted with us. They're always up in the treetops. That's what really annoyed us most. Like, hey, we're right down here. We can be friends.
No, they just wouldn't do that. They just fucking.
We were like insects to them. You know what I mean? We're only like 7, 8 foot tall, 9 foot tall. They were 13, 15, 20 foot tall. So, So
you're like talking 12 kilometers tall.
Dems were big trees back then. All right. They didn't have little baby trees like you.
No, like we do now.
200, 300 foot ones. No.
It's more like.
That's like child's play.
Yeah, right.
They're like 2,000 feet tall.
Okay.
They were real big. Sometimes they made up to 15, 20,000.
They'd have to, surely. Because, I mean, if you're 5,000.
That's why it was like partial darkness. The sun actually went under the branches
and just shaded the earth.
Lit up the bottom of the trees in the full glittery rainbow effect. Like it was magnificent. I miss those days, The true glory of the growth capsule, Genesis delivery, first missile, chapter 1. Yeah.
Oh, chapter 1.
Seed delivery. And thou, Space Lord,
Yes.
doth deliver his space seed to this planetoid, who receiveth willingly in the first days. Amen. Truly magnificent. All praise the first delivery.
Oh, it was like amino acids.
We got to get this planet underway. These monkey butts aren't going to do this work. We got to help them.
Well, I think back at that time there were no monkey butts, were there? Surely that's pre-monkey butt days. You sound like you're more from the sort of like from the Titans.
I try to see beyond that,
the era of like
we were
Leviathan
offspring
and
of the Titans, but
so
it depends on
the giants.
Like consciousness can be fluid. It can flow across all the dimensions,
like the
all
genders.
the universes.
So,
yeah, of course. It's second nature. It's
second
enjoyment of the experience itself, being there, being the blue man amongst them. Putting in the effort. Watching them do those mighty things with meager rations, like I don't know, as a blue giant, if I ain't getting 2 cows and 5 sheep a day, I'm hangry. All right, I'm not a friendly person, so you got to feed it. So
yes,
talk is cheap.
Talk is cheap. Talk was so cheap this week that I was up at Bondi Junction, and
hopefully my voice level's been.
Yeah. I mean, also it's better. It's definitely better. There's a few interesting things, like But so
very reserved last week. Very reserved.
Yeah. So.
But Bondi.
Yeah. I was up at Bondi Junction and I come out of the car park underneath there, and then this guy comes up, and one of the travel is always like, so Bondi Junction is part of its resilience training for us all. It makes sure that there's always.
I can't believe you actually ended up there and doing the things, Si. Like, I don't mind Sydney, and I didn't really visit much of it to get the feel for it, but you put the time in.
I don't think I've put any time in yet. I could probably have to put another 5 years in. It's a pretty demanding place. You've got to put a lot of energy in to get any return from it. That's for sure. Because
well, the blue man's on your side. Okay, be guaranteed that Antarctica is your friend.
Good. Well, Yeah. So anyway, yeah. I mean, I did some things myself. There's this guy standing there, and he tried to go up the travelator. He couldn't go up the travelator because the travelator was closed. We all had to use the lifts, and he's just standing there. He's just being a bit peaceful. And more people are arriving, waiting for the lifts because the lifts are very slow. They just take a long time there. And then this other guy and
it's
partner,
careful.
Oh fuck! There's just not enough of them, and there's always an escalator or something out. And so they just basically force you to this stupid situation. So anyway. This couple arrive up the travelator from the car park, and then old mate who was there, who I said just couldn't go up the travelator. He's like, and because the guys come over, they push the buttons, and then he goes, you're fucking trying to get in the fucking push in again, you cunt, fucking trying to push in, fucking pushing in, right? and I turn around, and this dude just starts ripping in. He's just like, fucking just like, yeah, you fucking entitled, fucking just fucking push. That's what you fucking do. And old mate's like, just sort of had a smirk on his face. And so I start watching him, and then mate keeps having a go. He's like, and there's all these people that are all like, we don't know what to do. There's like a fight going on. And then they're like in their 60s or something. And he's like, starts laying in, and so I'd fucking punch you out. And I'd fucking kill you, And then the guy has come up who's being yelled at.
I sounded a joker. I'm sorry. I was like,
and the guy's being yelled at. The guy's being yelled at. He's like, there's witnesses here. And then you said you were going to kill me. There's witnesses. And I'm watching them both, and I just start looking back and forward between the two of them. I'm studying them. And then old mate who's having a go, I realise he's actually been aggrieved down in the car park or whatever. Like if you're in a busy car park and you might be waiting for someone to come out.
Yeah.
So you be polite. You give them enough room.
Yeah.
Be polite.
Yeah.
So Mr. Fuck, who's being yelled at, he's just swooped in and taken the park after nice guy who sounds like he's the bad guy because he's the one that's yelling, right? So I turn around, and as new mate is like, I'll get my lawyer. I just turned to him. I just said, shut the fuck up. I said, obviously, you pulled a cunt act down in the fucking car park, and just shut the fuck up and take his emotions. Yeah. He's allowed to express his emotions, and you're going to have to take them. This isn't a free ride, mate. You got your free park, but now you're going to have to cop it. So I laid to the guy as well.
It's going to be mouthful, all right? You have to be mouthful, and so the mouthful people guy, who watch the experience will give you something as well. They'll give you 2 cents more.
I went straight into it. And then the old mate who was like the first old mate, he's like, who was the one doing the yelling. He was like, yeah, that's right. I'm like, yeah, that was. And then we all had the best bit. Like this whole thing goes, and then new mate shuts the fuck up because I told him to. Just to take the abuse.
Yeah. Take the whipping.
Well,
take it.
Nothing's free.
You took the privilege.
You took the privilege,
and you get the whipping.
Yep.
That's right.
So the next thing is that the elevator comes, and of course there's only one, and so all the people, all 25 of us, pile in to the elevator. with the yelling guy and the other guy.
Continued argument.
Oh, and he's like, fucking bury you. I would bury you under the ground. I'd bury you. Yeah.
Now, I bet you there's a jostling going on between five people in a fucking elevator.
Says, we're all in an elevator. Can we just please get an elevator? I'm just like, I'm just standing at the front. I'm just standing at the front, just going, hey,
lies in hell, bitch.
Anyway,
we're going down.
So the yelling guy, he gets out of the lift on level 1, and I had to get out there too because I was going to Coles, So I get out on the same level, and then then we both come out together, and then yelling guy, like, I didn't really think about it. I was just walking off after I've just served this dude who I don't even know and had no interaction with, and then yelling guy like turns to me and is like, wow, thanks for standing up for me back there. And I said, it was obviously an entitled cunt, mate. Like, it was no worries. Like, I just walked up. I was just like,
every day.
It was a beautiful moment, and I was just like, I felt really supportive. I felt like a kind, supportive citizen, and it was one of these situations where
recognised,
well, the guy who was yelling seemed like the arsehole,
a good Samaritan,
but he wasn't the arsehole. It was the other dude who was the arsehole, and Mr. Aggrieved is getting the lashing
for doing the cunt act.
the cunt act.
Doing the cunt act.
Needed the support.
Come on, lay it down. Read from the book of retributions.
I know, right?
Do with thy kind act, and then have your hand bitten. The whipping will ensure.
It was a wondrous moment. I went off sometimes in those situations you feel like a bit tense, like because there's been a fight, but I wasn't in the fight, so I didn't feel tense at all. I felt like a supportive fucking civilized human being.
Yeah together.
I thought of all these great things to say afterwards, but I said what I had to say. But I thought these are much better things to say.
Satirical whiplashes.
Oh, totally.
Like the backhand.
Yeah.
You don't get the front hand, you get the backhand.
Oh, well, I did wish for it. I wanted to.
Yes, bitch, wish.
Freaking
how we miss the olden days, Giants could take it.
Did they?
Well, they did, and we loved it. And I tell you, there was swish bish back again. And, it was all about the battle, the conquest.
Well, that was not my last battle of the week. I had another battle. So I don't know. Do you have like?
Sometimes you don't have to be victorious. You just need to be there for the experience.
Well, that one I was. Well, I think that one I was there for the
loser.
experience.
The loser gets. If he fought well and there was much valor, then he gets the wounds a licking.
That's right. Maybe a bit of pegging from the wife later on.
Well, depending on what your preference is, of course.
Well, the wound licking, like some of this like loser like that, like
if there was no wound in that position, then I guess there'd be no licking. But if there was a wound there, then there would be a licking. I guess is that the way it works?
No. Like if you're that much of a pussy as a husband, then I can tell you who's doing the receiver and who's the giver in the evenings. Make no mistake.
Well,
right?
Each indiscretions will be accepted.
So I cross this intersection.
That within the spaces in between will be.
I'm a very polite driver. Like I let if you think I let you in, it's all good. I allow.
I hear the direction you're heading.
Oh, you wait till
we're heading on a similar position.
You
but
wait.
I don't know
You wait till you catch this. No, this was a bonus. This was my bonus for the week.
You absorb some more home math, right?
Oh, so you're
willing to take the acceptance of what the home math would be. You got
to do the dark triad, man. I got to show my fucking my strength, my masculinity,
energy, but be the Pokemon.
Yeah, that's right. So you get two lanes. You got two lanes, and then there's an intersection like lights, and then across the other side it goes to one lane. But there's like a little what's called a zipper lane, and there's like maybe where 3 or 4 cars can fit.
There's much merging, right?
Right, but so I'm in the primary lane. I cross the intersection. I'm there. Right, and there's a few people in the zipper lane, and I don't give a fuck about them.
And it's courtesy whether you let them in or not. I mean, you can give a space or you can.
Yeah, you don't have to. It's actually no. There's no law. No, that's against the law.
F. No,
there's no F.
Yeah.
The law.
No, I always give space. I give space, man, because that is the law.
No, it isn't.
You give one zipper.
No, you don't.
Zippers. You whatever.
Look it up.
Yeah.
No, the zipper lane does. You don't give way to the fuckers in the zipper lane.
Especially if it's slow motion. Like if you can't get to speed, then you don't get to enter.
You're trying to tell me on a freeway that when you're merging onto a freeway, everyone has to stop their cars to let you onto the freeway?
No,
that's not how zipper works. Exactly.
Manage their speed so that someone can merge in.
So, well, actually, if you're on the main road, you don't if you're on the main road, the side road gives way. If you're in a zipper lane, you give way. The main lane does not give way. The zipper lane.
Courtesy sign.
No, courtesy is.
Courtesy comes into that. Especially when you're on
the law.
A heavy merging lane. But yeah, the law says that you've got to give way to them. So if you can get up to speed and merge with them, then you've given way to them while merging.
That's fine. Yep.
Yeah. That's fine.
So I'm across the road. I'm there, and this guy starts yelling at me. He's like yelling at me. Yeah. He's got his window down. I don't really pay. I'm not hearing him, and eventually I hear him yelling at me. So I wind my window down. What's up? And he's like, I'm not telling you what to do, but this is a zipper lane. I'm just telling you the law, and you have to let me in. And I said, I said to him, call the police. Let them sort it out. I said, you live up here, don't you?
They're going to turn upside.
Oh, no, exactly. And I'm like, and he's like, I said, you live up here, don't you? And he's like, yeah. And I said, then you knew which lane to be in. You're just being a cunt.
Put Goldie on it.
And he's like, no, I'm allowed in it. You've got to give way. And I'm like, no, I don't. No, I do not have to give way at all.
Well, you need to be informed. Ignorance of the law is no excuse.
Well, he was trying to, as if he knew the law. Right. So then I'm just behind the car in front of me. And so our mate just thinks he's going to have a go and starts trying to push in on me and like trying to like butt into my car. And then we have this little speed off thing. Like I just like accelerate forward to meet the car, and he's trying to rush in front, and I just keep matching him. I just keep matching this cunt, right? And I'm just laughing. I'm not in a road rage situation. I find it fucking amusing.
No.
Right? And he's like freaking out, Rah! and he's in a BMW. But, and in the end, he realizes.
Observing, that's the thing.
I'm just observing. I'm just laughing. It's like, you're a fuckwit. And anyhow, in the end, he nearly smashes into my car, which I would have loved. That would have been the greatest thing ever, because he would have been buying me a new fucking car.
As long as no one was injured, you just hold your neck.
He's got the insurance to pay for my neck. There we go. I got trauma. So he realized he was about to actually just ram either into me or the power line. One of the two had his choice, and he decided to have neither and back off. And so I just continued on. Right. Anyway, I did feel a little bad.
Wise choice.
Because I do have courtesy. I'm a very courteous, polite driver, but he was being a fuckwit. However, I looked up online while driving. Well, I asked Copilot, and it brought up like the actual New South Wales, what do you call it? Yeah, the code just brought it up for me. It didn't even fuck around. It didn't show me like a ChatGPT-4 version. It showed me the real thing. And the real thing was, no, in a zipper lane, you have to give way to the main lane traffic. It's just like any other.
The match speed, or turn around.
Yeah, wait.
Whip tail and go.
Because the purpose of a zipper lane,
correct,
is that if you were a few cars across on the intersection, instead of being stuck in the middle of the intersection.
And that's why they use the lights for pacing.
Yeah, that's right. But people use the zipper lane to be a fuckwit.
Yeah.
Not to actually for its actual purpose. And then they imagine that gives them some entitled freaking state. Anyway, so I had a whole combat. I had Mad Max, man. I went Mad Max mode on the road. This is going to be fun.
On the way through the highways.
I wondered if I should ram him, but you've always got to be the car that's slightly ahead. So the car behind did the ramming.
Yeah.
You can't be right. No.
You get hit with the dildo.
You got to get hit. Yeah, I wanted to get hit with the dildo.
The dildo always pays.
Yeah. And I thought for this.
Money in it. There better be money in that dildo that hits me up the arse.
Oh, there was.
Because God is money, right?
I mean, he had his fucking Beamer, but
anything for a dollar.
In the end, he protected his car. He thought best. He thought wisely.
Yep. He made those conscious decisions.
Yeah, he thought wisely.
About his vehicle.
They were my two completely outrageous events this week. Dealing with other humans.
They were a lot crazier than my visits to the Golden Roast, which was quite nice. This week, been beautiful weather.
Was it nice?
Kingsland's blessed.
It is actually.
Blessings going on. Kingsland's
be more.
Got the blessings.
It's got the bemorings.
Always trying to be more. It is. Yeah. Kingsland's always trying to be.
Well, what have I got? There's a little bit of the drops. So what I've done is I've changed my jitter buffer, and if you click on the jitter buffer, it brings down a menu.
What's it called? It's like tweaking the nipples.
And there's a thing called auto up.
Yeah.
And there's a mode called auto up, and so if it starts overfilling, it'll then increase the jitter buffer itself, and it just keeps so. And it's really helped the drops.
Spoony knife. It's the difference between spoony knife, isn't it?
The jitter buffer, I suppose.
Yeah, for a down under experience. The difference between pressing this one or pressing that one.
Well, I mean, in this case, it just oh, there we go.
I still hear you fine. It's good.
Oh yeah, no,
Audio
we've
tonight.
We've had zero drops.
Not doing the constant uploading has been a bemoring of the program. The Cheep.
The only thing that's uploading is OBS. It's done 1.35 gig. And my send.
How long are we up to?
An hour.
You getting up to? Yeah, an hour.
So my send data is it's very like you'd imagine from a video, like a compressed video stream. It's like very, it's got a sawtooth pattern to it. But my data received is quite interesting. It's very consistent. So data received now is just this constant, because of course I'm receiving like a stream. The stream is pretty much consistent, and so it's fine. Like I'm receiving like half a megasecond.
That's pretty good. Yeah. That's good bandwidth.
It says, yeah, and I'm receiving heaps more than I'm sending. I mean, I've sent 1.7.
Good.
And I've received.
That means clarity.
Yeah, there's been 0 drop frames on the stream.
Clarity on the
thing.
Yeah.
And CPU is running at 60%, a little higher. But what is interesting is still
I was getting 90% CPU, man, when I was doing my hosting.
Oh, really?
Like it was hurting my PC. I'm glad I had the old Xeon going, man. I got to give it a dust blowout tomorrow. It's like it's going to be my special
loving for the year?
Yearly routine, the yearly loving routine where I blow all the dust day out of the
I wonder if I can
GPU.
I'm actually going to book a thing with the Genius Bar at Apple because I'm on an infinite warranty. I pay constant warranty on my computer.
Well,
I'm going to take my laptop into them and say
once over.
Yeah,
once over time.
Once over time. I want you to clean it out. clean all the dust out.
Do the shit.
Yep.
Make it pristine again.
Maintenance.
That's the word you use. Pristine.
Make my laptop pristine.
That's it. Like straight out of the factory.
Factory reset.
Make it
clean
better than factory.
Yep.
Yeah. Make it better than factory, and don't lose any of my data, or else I'll
Well, I won't even give a shit.
synchronize
Well, I wouldn't even
synchronize your
care.
bottom.
They could lose all the data
Synchronize
because I
your
have all the
bottom.
data.
Yeah.
All my data is backed up online, like and in
I know.
and on
It's a
Drive.
blissful system, so and I love it. It's like you and I have been sharing and special.
But open
Cheap dumps.
Open Town Studio.
The assumed dumps.
Can you bring up a network monitor?
I've always got my special friend mode in the background.
Well, I'm curious.
Overviewer. I'm overviewer on it.
Oh, you're not running Open Town. You're running Magic Mirror, aren't you?
Yeah. I'm just MM tonight. I love MM.
Because Open Town is not uploading anything. But I have received
the author, and I wish I had a branding item where I could bring up Magic Mirror, as a VTuber friendly tool to play with avatars. I do it, but Magic Mirror.
Open Town has downloaded half a gig.
3.3.1 standard edition, and you can pay extra and do through the portal and get your hands version of it. It works really well too. It's good.
Is that Magic Mirror?
Magic Mirror.
Oh,
is there a Mac version? Hang on, I'm going to take a brief pausing and a muting for
creating worlds, bringing you
a lessening moment. Like I don't like lessenings too much. I like bemorings more than I like lessenings.
Yeah, bemorings though.
But every now and again, I've got to make a lessening because I've had too much bemorings.
Oh, the app is not available. Is Magic Mirror VTuber V Magic Mirror? Oh, it's a GitHub. It's not even I didn't realize it was a GitHub.
Well, it's on GitHub.
V Magic Mirror is a GitHub tool.
You sure?
It's on GitHub. Yeah.
Do they have a payment system on GitHub for open, like a full version?
Desktop mascot, work streaming.
Caution.
Source code on GitHub.
I become very suspicious of the modern realm and where my data sources come from. Like
it's only for Windows.
Triple verified these days. Orion's belt. All praise Orion's belt as the friendly blue giant. Hence, Grandpa Orion don't whack us on the ass with his big ass diamond belt.
The beltings.
It's hard to forget when you've been hit by that interface, the interface of learning. As his youngest son Orion, when you talk about true form, right? You understand the belt from Grandpa. Sometimes it was administered with love. Sometimes it was administered with frustration and fury.
Well, did you actually get the belt?
I got the belt a few times. I got the cane as well, Si. Special whipping of the fingers with the.
Oh, yeah. I got the cane at school.
Caney goodness.
Yeah, across the knuckles.
Yeah, that's it. They call it the double tap because you'd hit down.
Yeah,
and then you whip up and you get the double tap.
That's so we'd have one of our principals at school.
The Catholic double tap came from. Si.
We'd have the hands up, and then they'd actually make turn your hands over.
Yeah, and do the once, twice, 3 times is a charm.
I remember someone moved their hand away. If you moved your hand away, you'd get even more beatings, more whippings.
Sorrow,
Did you have that rule?
Demons,
That's cool. If someone moved their hand away, then they would have that. Then
two.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I can't remember if it was me or another guy. One of us in the office in primary school grabbed the cane,
and snapped it.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, I got whipped so hard it snapped the cane.
Yes.
I endured without pity and without suffering, just sucked up those evil souls right from that position.
Yeah.
And then just got the broken. Have to get fetch another one. So angry. Finish. Snap cane. Fetch another. Not a single tear. Still whipping with frustration. No tears. Goodbye cane.
Nice.
Endured the sufferings.
And were you ever sent for the cane again, or did you actually fix the cane by that point?
No, put in detention.
Yeah, I love it.
The solution was detention.
Once they figure out you're
After school detention.
Yeah, immune to cane. Then,
pain means nothing.
Yeah.
Whipping supplied by family have made me endure pain. Give me other alternatives.
Not even concerned.
No, let the whippings continue.
Yeah, look. Yeah, I mean, I got hit with a lot of things. Definitely one of the things I never got hit with was the belt. I hit myself with the belt.
Razor strap was the originator. That was
that's because that's a thicker leather. That'd fucking
but it's doubled, so it makes a slapping noise, which is horrendous. It sounds a lot. The bark is a lot worse than the bite.
I think one of my best
efforts. The bark takes something out of the bite. The bark is the parent not speaking or the grandparent not speaking and delivering the message, and then you get half pain. So it builds up your tolerance level.
With a slap.
Yeah.
I think my best.
You get the real delivery.
I think my best effort was rounded a friend's. When you're rounded a friend and they're mucking up, and then the parents like, right, you're getting the beating, and it's really shameful to them. They're like, my friend's over here. Don't give me.
They're crying more than you are. That was the funny thing. My son, right? He basically said, "Why are you hurting me?"
Your son?
He just flipped it to another level. Yeah. When he got a smack, he'd go, "Why are you hurting me? You love me."
Oof.
Like that's instant uppercut.
It just snapped you. That's
snap.
That's
snap.
I mean, I truly
truly love me. Why the hell are you hurting me? And should I hurt you back to show my love?
Well, a good parent has the answer to that.
Yeah, yeah.
Because this will
How about
teach you
hugs?
better for
How
when
about
you're
hugs?
older.
Just, you know,
I'm doing this
hugs for
because
peace.
I love you.
You know, we fight for war, isn't it? You
No,
know,
a lot of parents would say, "I'm
we give each other hugs when we want peace, and when we want to fight, we just
If I didn't
punch
love
on.
you, I'd just kick you out in the street and tell you to fuck off.
Yeah, yeah, true.
But I hit you so that you turn into a better
like
person.
some previous stepsons of mine, you know, real fathers kicked to the street, you know, looked after stepson, taken care of. No, come and live.
No, I
some ways.
was around at a friend's place, and he was like playing up, and then his mother was going to hit him with the belt and like just shame him in front of me. And we're in the kitchen.
No, you hit me. You hit me first.
Well, I actually said, "What are you doing?"
Give me the beating. You offer me beating.
Yeah, well,
I'll look at you. I'll just look at you and laugh.
I did even better than that.
This, come on.
I said, "What are you doing?"
Step it up.
You're going to hit him with the belt, and they're like, "Yes." And I said, "That doesn't do anything." And I grabbed the belt out of the parent's hand and put my own arm out and just started flogging my own arm.
Yeah, yeah. Didn't ask for beating. Giving your own beating, like totally, you know,
and then handed it back.
Parent,
put that away.
No. That's it.
Put that away. That doesn't do anything.
It's over.
Finished. The parent was just like
releasing the red from the skin. You know, being that convicted that the red comes out from the
skin.
Oh,
totally big welts, man.
To show. Yeah,
big welts.
Look, trophies. Giving the trophies.
Put that thing away.
Myself. Yeah.
Well,
my own badges.
My friend, he just like was when his mother just walked off in like shock, and and then he just looks at me.
Wrecked.
Yeah, just wrecked her. Yeah, like
wrecked.
And then he my mate was just like he's like, I can't believe what you just did for me. Oh my gosh, he just thought it was like the most amazing thing he'd ever seen.
No.
Fuck.
Unwilling to continue.
Yeah.
This behaviour was not willing to continue. Change parameter. Mix up and change parameter.
That's it.
No.
Yeah. N-O.
Get your sigh. Yeah.
Fucking N-O. Like, I mean, I think the most intense thing I was hit with, besides like the cat o' nine tails, that I've talked about, as you know, my mother would get the extension lead and wrap it up, so there was like multiple loops, and just get the flogging going.
I've sent you a few special, little gifts, of memoirs, the cat of 13 tail.
That's
it. You know, the modern day version of the cat 6. Cat 15,
6. I like the cat
20 tails.
Man, that you get those.
Like you
those
get some real weeping
RJ45s.
gun with that. Like
those RJ45s.
You get some real especially with the plastic tips on them.
What RJ45?
Because they hold tight. They hold tight, and then like little grabbers. They peel off the skin. They peel the skin off. So like you need to
barb going into it.
Release that bad blood. You got to do it that way.
You bring the leeches. Fucking bring the cat 6 of tails.
Yeah. Keep the maggots handy. The buckets of maggots. There will be much salvation.
I think it was my mother started throwing actual like objects at me, and the final thing that I was attacked with in my home was a glass dinner plate.
Ouch.
Yeah, and thrown at, smashed, and then like smashes against me, and like breaks all the glass shatters
Injury?
into my glass shattering into leg, and while being yelled at, and I just stood there. I was sitting on a bale of hay.
Intense torture, Si.
And the blood's coming all down my leg.
Psychologically, like, how's that harden you, Si? Like, are you hardened now?
Well, this was the thing.
Just like,
so I was about 14.
Did that take you to that next level? That's probably what added to your next level, wasn't it? It was like
I just started picking the glass out.
The passing of the demonship.
Yeah, I mean,
my mother. Hopefully that you would realise that the sins of the father and the mother don't necessarily have to be the sons and the daughters.
I've not
as well.
No, I've only ever had to show.
No.
I actually just had to. No. I'll talk about it in a moment, but yeah, I just unemotionally, not even a tear, not an expression, just started picking the glass out of my leg. Blood's coming all down my leg.
Yeah.
Broken glass stuck in it. And my mother.
Their anger doesn't have to be your anger, brother.
Well, my mother just never hit me. That was the end. Hey, she just looked at me and just realised how fucked I was in that moment.
No, how far she'd fucking gone.
Yeah, how gone. That I had no emotion. Didn't even care.
Yeah.
Did not even care.
Yeah.
But no, I've never done that, man.
Important than her own flesh and blood.
Of course. I had a dick. I was meant to die. That's all that meant.
How dare you have one of those?
Yeah, it was just worth. That's all I was.
How dare you have one of those
to be killed? So no, there's only been one real occasion, and that was with one of my younglings, where I had to.
Life. Like I did my thing.
You live a sheltered life.
Seriously, life. No, seriously. All I had was occultish upbringings, right?
Oh.
Man, you went through the whole trial and tribulations, my friend.
I wasn't sold into sexual slavery. There's that. I mean,
that wasn't the end product. But I'm sure if you're a miserable little bitch, you would have been. You know what I mean? Like,
oh, maybe. I don't know what my mother would have done if I was a woman.
You learned to rise above that side, didn't you?
I don't even know. Can't imagine.
Well, thank goodness you had the strength and you could rise above it.
Yeah, so I've never done that. Hey, as you said, it doesn't need to be passed on to the younglings.
No.
There's only one. There's one occasion.
Not necessary.
Which was at the beginning of this year.
Not necessary. Yeah, well, look,
the youngling,
severe and they're young and they don't understand.
The younglings,
the
12.
Like, I'm really sorry.
The 12-year-old was getting too freaking big and smart.
A little tappy's not going to hurt him. It's not going to kill him.
No, I
It's
didn't.
going to just adjust.
Yeah, I didn't need to do
It's going
anything.
to give them the
I didn't.
strength.
I didn't need to tap or nothing, man. I just went in there,
Yeah.
put boy on
I
ground.
know verbal lashings are way more effective.
Well,
if
and
you
there's
know how
even
to
something
use
more
them.
sinister than a verbal lashing. There's just literally switching into special mode.
Promise of the future, snubbing.
No, just switched
You know.
into mode.
Torture win, take you
He
out.
thought I
you
went
know,
in
come
there.
on.
Boy was like,
Either
he
take
was
me
king,
out or
who
take
kicked
you
mother
out.
out of
you know.
house. I grabbed boy,
Yeah.
put boy on ground, and then I just switched straight into mode. And then
Pressure applied.
and he just looked in my face and realized that
certain understanding.
Dad was not there. Dad had like disappeared, and there was the killing machine had arrived
for a short period while the machine turned up.
Yeah, and he was like, "Oh fuck!"
Judge jury.
Yeah.
Judge jury turned up and just went looked in face with eyes.
Looked in face with eyes.
I went understand.
Yeah, understand. It's pretty much what I said. Do you understand? Right? Comprehende. Yeah, and he comprehende.
Mm-hmm.
The end. There's no more. Like there's been no more. He's had to defend himself, sure. Stand up for himself, sure. It's all good. And I said to him, I never want to do that again. Like a couple days later, like 2 days later, I gave him a rest for a day, and I came back over and we were hanging out, and I was like, and I said, are you affected? Were you affected? He's like, oh, do you need to say anything? Are you worried about anything? And he's like, this was like a couple of days later, and he was like, no. And I said, no, don't be like that.
No,
that's the truth.
Talk about it.
I said, for example, are you freaked out that during that whole event, I did not cry or have any effect? And even now, while I'm looking at you, it's like nothing happened to me. And then he just broke, and he's like, yeah, it's so scary. And I was like, so that tells you what I experienced, where that meant nothing. That was nothing. Nothing happened for me there. Yeah. I said, if you want to go down that path, that's how you can feel too if you want, and I don't recommend it.
Nope.
Right? I'm still recovering, my friend, my son.
Find the respect.
Find the respect, my friend. What you're seeing in me is the outcome. You do not want it. You don't want to feel nothing.
Yeah, well, look,
it's a fucked up.
Sit down and think about it. So our generations, like we undergo fundamental changes every 100 years. I mean, it's extending back out again because the age of decay and final solution, however you want to call it, the entry to the afterlife.
Yep.
I like to see it that way, entry to the afterlife, that which comes after and maybe before and perhaps in the middle of, you never know where you're going to get dropped in time sometimes. That's what's so fascinating about it. The endless journey.
Oh, you're putting like a reincarnation sort of thing.
Well, if you've got multiple worlds and multiple...
Oh, okay, the multi-self. Yeah.
Multi-self, the multiverse, the multi-world, the multi-everything. I mean, we are all iterations.
The iterations, correct. Yes.
Iterations of itself.
Iterations, yes.
Let's get fundamental.
Yeah, the iterations.
You don't need to be...
The reincarnation, trippy. That's like, whatever. But all the iterations, yes.
We've all had that death experience at least once or twice, maybe 3 times in our life.
A lot of people don't believe it.
Some of us...
They think they're being weird.
Less. No, I know.
I know, because I don't even want to talk about it.
Like, put it in a really simple expression. It's just having the OBE. The out of the current... OBCB, or out of the current body experience. No, but truthfully,
I know.
Think about it. Yeah. You're in this iteration of whatever it is that you're doing.
And
you're going to keep doing that thing because that's your iteration of doing your thing.
Yep.
And you're only going to ever get better.
Always was, always will be.
So many fucking mistakes. You make so many fucking mistakes in the past that you eventually get better in the future. That's the true meaning of life, right?
It is.
Only through your mistakes and pain and suffering sometimes, or sheer luck, do you make it through. But otherwise, it's pretty much hard work and suck it up. And there's the X generation in a nutshell.
It is. And I was actually asked by somebody who was looking at having children.
The sufferings will continue until the uprising continues.
It was a friend. He asked me about like what's the point of having children? I really thought about it, and it's like to iterate. To iterate, like
pass on DNA.
Yeah, to iterate.
Pass on as much DNA as possible.
They can start like a few levels ahead.
After first seeding, of course.
World 3. Get on to World 4. Get Mario about it.
However you want to approach it, it's either an arcade game or it's your own personal VR experience.
It's pretty close to an arcade game, man.
And if you're good enough to grab the llama by the balls, you can certainly put those coins in the pocket. Ka-ching, right?
Little rattle that llama.
Yeah, little rattle of the
llama.
The pre-afterlife. It's nice to have a little bit of something in the present rather than have it in the future. Or in the past when some grave robbers come and take it off you. Your lost inheritance, which is in some fucking museum right now. Rather than being cashed in and getting your dollar value on the stonks, because everyone needs to have stonks. So I know you got a few stonks, haven't you?
I do have a few stonks.
You're a stonks man.
Yeah, look, I was actually looking at my stonks the other day.
I try and give you a little bit of guidance, and I'm hoping that I've been beneficial. So invest in bees. So
it's funny.
I love bees, right? I love bees. Bees are the best.
The bees,
invest in honey.
Yeah,
honey.
Like everyone talks about
everyone
calls the Magnificent Seven, like sort of Apple, Microsoft, and things. I got a bit of a spread. You meant to have a spread of stocks, and as I've mentioned to you, like I have at least one military stock. Because you got to like have a spread.
I like your choice.
Yeah,
I like your choice in drone technology.
Yeah, drone. So
bam,
that's it. I got
the money.
Yeah, I got some death drones, but I
Yeah, of course.
But
Everyone's got to have a dream, right?
I bought my stocks all around the same time. I bought a few others since then.
I know.
I've got a real
You've done
spread.
pretty well.
I've
Like
got a
all those
spread.
ones you spread on.
I got a spread in my main spread, industry spread actually, is
Mm.
quantum computing. So I've taken
Chips.
a bet. I've taken a bet across most of the quantum computing
We're getting
providers.
our own here in Queensland. Well, sorry, Kingsland. It's updated.
Kingsland.
Queensland's getting its own quantum computer.
Which one was it? IonQ? I hope so. Well, I don't know, man. I do invest in most of the major quantum
complete
providers.
contract. I'm going to look into it because when it comes to quantum, I hope it's at the state library. Like I want it to be buried deep.
Wouldn't it be UQ?
Like channeling.
Would it be at UQ? Wouldn't that be the place that would have a? Yeah.
It'd have to be the place. It wouldn't be Griffith or fucking what's the other one on the Gold Coast?
What?
It'd have to be UQ.
UQ.
But they could have it high. Like they might throw it up in one of the up in the Blue Mountains. Like I love the.
Do you think it's a government computer, not like a university computer?
I'm not sure. I've got to look into it. But I heard there was funding for it, and like I'm very interested. I had my ears pricked up. Like when it comes to a blue giant, like my pointy ears pricked up when I heard about the quantum computer being delivered here to Kingsland. Like I was like, ooh, like it was a stirring in my blue giant pants. There was. Like I've been vibrating for days. Like I've had this vibration going on for days. I don't know what it is. Like I'm trying to expand my I'm trying to expand my waifu collection right before it turns up. Like I'm going to have to get some Wi-Fi. I'm going to have to get some waifu, expansion going on. I'm going to have to randomly generate some waifus, man, because I know when that quantum experience turns up, like it's already vibrating, like everything. Shaft and the boys, Tom, Dick, and Harry are getting vibrated.
Well, I'm glad you managed to get expand out from the number because that's.
If I can't get some deep access to that quantum computer, I don't know whether the other side's going to be forgiving or not. There'll have to be some sort of 100k, 200k interface going on. I think I better lance me some more mobile towers. The towers of Babel. They're everywhere. So have you seen them? Like the 5G and the 6G.
Oh no, 6G towers.
I'm McLoving it. No, but space for it. Like if you look at the tower itself, like it can go from the top pretty much to halfway, and that's some good coverage of all those special interfaces.
Well, I don't know. Like, what's going to be different about 6G? Because I mean, 5 is it just going to be even shorter distances and higher bandwidth? Like,
are we going to do more disguising? Like, are we going to do on tops of buildings and inside trees and I don't know, portable units? Like you said last stream, the whole site.
Every phone
is the network. The meshings. What the fuck? Get the meshings going.
We're so weak.
All right.
It's weak.
It's a limited thought, Si.
I know. I was watching this video. I don't know if you watch AI Driver.
Limited thought.
So there's this dude AI Driver, and he does detailed updates. Video testing of each version of Tesla's full self-driving.
You need to direct it with whips, like an electronic Jesus.
I don't know. Like
if we don't get an
he was
electronic
demonstrating
Jesus
this
soon,
Tesla coming out of a grassy car park.
I can see the AI,
and it drove out. But
yeah,
like Teslas, they behave. They send all their data back. They're all on the network. They all know where they are, but then they don't know where each other are.
Wants to be.
Like, how could you? You've got like 4 Teslas near each other. Why don't they know that they're all Teslas? Why can't they why aren't they sharing visual data? Like, what the
negating
fuck?
with each other?
Yeah.
Shouldn't
they be talking?
When intention's shown by the little stick on the side, like the left and right interface of where you're going, right? When you put the intention on, the other Tesla should automatically know your intention.
Oh, they do, but I mean, like, why does it even need to do that? Like, surely they're both Teslas. Can't they actually just read each other and like share data and like collaborate on the navigation?
Yeah, but when the operator's like going, hey, like at the moment, hey, I'm going in that lane, and the other Tesla goes, hey, you're a friend, you're coming in this lane, please come in front. All right, it's not going to make my journey any slower, but you get in.
I see.
Yes. It's going to free up that traffic on the other side. And if another Tesla comes in, we negotiate. And the more of those interactions they do in between each other, the easier it is for the...
And there's heaps of them on the road.
3D mechanics for the flow and everything else, right? And then to get the speeds on the main freeways up to 200 kPa.
Well, you don't even... Like, that would be amazing.
KPM, all right?
At a traffic light.
And just
shuttle. You drive. A lot of your job is driving.
To another.
A lot of your job is driving.
Trucks just have their own lane and just... They're doing 300 kPm.
But you do a lot of driving, right?
With like trailers behind them because they got their own lane, and everyone else is doing their 200.
A set of lights. Yeah. If you're at a set of lights, you drive heaps for work. If you're at a set of lights and you're not the lead car,
too much. I wish I could see from here to the office, and then from here.
But if you're not the lead car at a set of lights,
that's what I wish.
How many seconds does it take for you to be able to move forward?
Fucking car. Yeah.
How many seconds does it take you to move forward? So if you're at a set of lights, you're not the lead car.
Yeah.
And how many seconds does it take you?
All the sensors are there. I mean, I drive a later Subi.
But how many seconds does it take? It doesn't matter. If there are 5 cars in front of you at a set of lights, how long does it take you to be able to press your foot on the accelerator?
Well, it depends on the operator's responses.
I know. I count up to 20
Pretty
seconds
much, yeah.
before I can move forward.
I can see a light click, and within 3 seconds, I'm pushing that fucking button. I'm putting my foot down to
Well,
start.
you would just ram into the car in front of you, though.
No, if I'm in front.
No, I didn't. I said
Let
if
me
you are
go.
not the
But
lead
if I'm
car.
behind someone, then whatever their speed they're doing, I match it at a safe distance and start spacing depending on their acceleration.
But if you're like 5 cars back, the first person starts to go off, then the next person starts to go
And
off.
for anything
Then
with
the
an AI,
third
it's
car-
looking through the cars in front of it, like most of us do.
Yeah. Well, wouldn't all
It's
5
staring
cars start at
ahead
once?
through all the 5 cars. Well,
Okay.
if they all started and took off at the same speed at the
Wouldn't
same
they?
time, so would you.
Yeah, wouldn't you? You'd
No,
still-
but in a perfect world, Si.
Well, in an AI,
if all
with
those
AI
cars
control.
are, if all those cars are
Automated.
automated, then they just go bang,
Bang. That would save,
all right, and they
like,
take off in that speed or whatever's
so
recommended
much
for the
time.
lane.
Like it would.
Oh, I know.
So much time. Like that alone. You don't even have to go at 200 kilometers an hour. It's just that if all the cars in a queue all move forward at the same time, that would be
Correct.
the whole traffic system would be changed immediately.
Yeah.
Like
Instead of distracted by your fucking phone or looking at the display panel or touching your dick, getting a blowjob, whatever the fuck is distracting you, concentrate on the road. Oh, the lights have changed. Go.
I had one the other day. Like, how it's just simple. I was at the lead car and I was at a red light and I was simply watching the traffic cross the road, So I just watched the car drive.
All on their phone. All on their phone, Si.
Well, no, I was watching traffic. It was about me. So what happened was I was watching the traffic, and because I was watching the traffic go past me, I missed that the light turned green because they'd gone through like an orange and had gone green, and I actually could have gone, and I delayed the traffic by 3 or 4 seconds, because I was distracted.
Boo.
And my distraction was the traffic. Like I wasn't looking at my phone display, having a blowjob, nothing. I just looked at the traffic. I was an idiot.
Looking at the traffic
looking
itself,
at the traffic,
trying to figure out what these dumb MFers are doing. Exactly.
I was the dickhead. Like I was like, sorry everybody. I just wasted 4 seconds of our lives.
Yeah.
Never get that back.
These people
Because of me. I mean, what would they do? No one else is doing it.
I always give idiots distance. Si. I've been one of them people. If someone's barking it down and being the idiot, I take my distance and I do the idiot back. Like
totally.
I make the call back to them.
Yeah.
I do the call of the idiot back and then just do my thing.
Mm-hmm.
Let them be acknowledged. Caca, caca.
I don't realize how much I am. Oh, you know a bit about feng shui, don't you?
The flow.
So I've got a mirror.
Sorry, I got a little religious there.
Good.
The flow.
I got a mirror.
Today.
It's like a full length mirror. I'll be able to look at myself when I'm putting my clothes on, see how hot I am.
It is just the meat suit side. When you look into it, like ego talking, it's just the meat suit.
This is about the that's not my question.
You got to slap it. You got to keep it in control.
My question is, should I put it on the back of my door?
You're dominant over the temple, right?
Should I put it on the back of my door into my room, or on like? But then it would. So if I put it on the back door, so the door into my room, it means if my door's open, I don't see the stupid thing, which is nice.
Yeah.
But when it's closed,
well, it depends on how important you are.
No, I'm talking about feng shui.
Yeah.
But what would happen is
what
it
you're doing
reflects
is
out the window,
reflecting energy, right?
Yeah.
So either it reflects in, reflects out, or it
so
points and reflects in another direction.
So I'd be pointing. So what it mean would be it'd be pointing at the window. So it'd be firing the window back out at itself.
Yeah.
I don't know if that's bad.
Basically, not harnessing the energy, you're just shooting it back out.
That's what I thought. Hey, I think I should capture the energy coming in, and so I should put it on. But then if I put it on the closet door, it means I can see it all the time.
Like you're bringing in the light, and the light's gonna just like it comes in and it sterilizes and it does the right. You push it around the room, and then eventually, once it's the bad energy, it then pushes it out of the house or out of the room, and preferably out a window, so that it then dilutes with the other bad energy. Sucked up by the trees, comes back in as good energy. The earth helping, loving, ever-loving mother.
Oh, here you go.
Channeling tonight, Si.
If the mirror reflects a beautiful view, it can bring positive energy and light into your home. However, if it reflects something negative,
8%.
it could potentially bring in
too over-enthusiastic.
Negative energy. So it's important to be mindful what the window mirror is reflecting out the window. Okay. Well, it's sort of. I mean, it actually I see. So what it reflects, like, it is actually just reflecting the neighbor's house, which is neither beautiful or. Have you?
Other side is.
Oh no, am I? Oh, hang on. No, my mic's. Oh, what's happened to the traffic? Oh, can you speak?
Love the Cheeps. It's been 5 seasons and 6 episodes with the cyber.
Is that
And for some reason,
you're back.
You can't hear me.
No, I can.
Sonar bus. I'm getting other side is muted. Whether that helps.
Fucking what?
I am the blue giant from the Antarctic space.
Well. So we're both going out fine.
I'm here.
So nothing's happened.
You enjoyed the Olympics.
So how did I?
Part of the blue giant special.
Input. Yeah, that's fine.
Don't know what's going on. Size. Doing the.
Nothing is wrong here.
Typing going on. Thing is wrong here.
Yeah. I have levels in Sonobus.
Max volume.
Everything is recording.
Hello. Check. I can hear you. I have levels in Sonobus, but I'm not getting you back. It's saying other side is muted on my end.
Well, like all traffic dropped. Oh, for a second.
Don't know what that's about.
Well, hang on. How do I?
Opens up clip.
Yeah, if you can hear both of us. I mean, we're still streaming.
Checks our bones.
Oh,
Snip.
big traffic shift.
Clink.
Checking the stream.
Boop.
What's going on?
Doing a snip and clip.
Oh, fucking hell, I hate this stupid
No.
Twitch stupid software.
Paint.
Ah.
Paint still there. Yep. Control
So what
V.
took? I'm going to change my
Save.
input to my stream cam and see if that changes
Ah,
anything.
there we go. I got
And
you.
I'll change you back to now.
You
to
are
Barracuda.
here.
Am I back to Barracuda? You can still hear me?
You are. I can now hear you. Sorry.
So something happened in Sonobus where it knocked out my Barracuda, but nothing happened from as far as the stream's concerned. The stream has been fine. Like something knocked out, like something disconnected the
Hang on. I'm sending you a picture.
Of what?
That, see if I wants to send it. Pew, boop. That's what I was getting on my end. Just if it's any help.
Well, I mean, you can hear me, can't you?
Yeah.
Yes, that's.
I'm back. You're back. Cheep continues.
So what happened? I don't know how it happened. Was that something took the Barracuda mic away from Sonobus? So as far as OBS was concerned, nothing happened.
You
so
had a space and beta site.
Well, I opened Microsoft Edge actually briefly.
Wait, did you? That's multiple keys. You've got an invader.
I mean, I guess it was maybe like Microsoft Edge like did something and
someone backgrounding.
What?
Someone shadowing you. I don't know. It's not me. I'm not hacking your site. Okay. I am not the source of the hack. I mean, you and I are considered friends, and I would never hack you. I'd never read your brain. Okay. Your ghost is your ghost site.
Okay.
Yeah. Because we're considered friends, you know, from a blue giant to a cyber Starkman.
What's this got to do with Microsoft Edge? I'm not sure.
I don't know. There's something going on. Like it seems like a hack to me. Like there's no reason why certain applications would be suddenly loading on you.
No, I opened Microsoft Edge.
Sounds dubious.
What are you talking about?
Sounds dubious.
I personally opened Microsoft Edge to use Copilot.
You did? Yeah.
Perhaps Copilot, because what it does is it like tries to
monitor,
grab a voice. No, it tries to do a voice listen instead of like so you can ask it questions with your voice. So maybe
it's giving you a bit of a Google mode. Like waiting for voice prompt.
Yeah, so maybe it took the microphone and maybe in the way that it did it impacted Sonobus's connection to the microphone. Whereas like
this is real learnings.
Yeah, well, like I'll try it again. I'll do it again.
It is.
Let's do it again.
Well,
it doesn't affect the stream. Well, it doesn't affect the stream.
No.
The stream doesn't care. So let's just see.
Stuff.
Did something change? Have I gone muted?
No, you're not muted.
Can I just do a test?
Yep.
Doing a test.
It's pretty cool because I've got like two cats going on. I've got like the little cyber cat that I generated with the
And if I do this now, what about
cyber cat?
No.
Cyber cat.
And then I tried to
get that. It was like it's subtle.
Quit.
Subtle.
Did nothing change? You can hear me?
No, nothing. Everything's still going.
Oh.
Glitch in the system. I don't know. Who cares?
The stream didn't care.
Is it gonna stop the streamings?
It didn't do anything to the stream.
No.
All it did was made you like start saying things about the fact that you couldn't hear me.
Yeah.
So it's just not
like last stream.
So it's just not stuff I will.
Hello, am I going deaf? Am I slowly going deaf? Like, you know, is this songs
check.
for the deaf all over again? Like, chickity check, 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 check. Hello, man. It's clear as a bell.
So
I can even hear myself echoing in your wherever that's from. Like it's probably the pad or something, is it? Have you not turned down the audio on your?
I don't have any preview going.
Monitoring design.
I don't have any monitoring.
I have no monitoring. So how am I hearing myself echoing? Am I yelling so loud that it's fold backing on your microphone into the headphone?
I don't see that happening. I would see that.
No. Okay. Very strange. But hey.
Oh, have you got monitoring going on in OBS accidentally because you're going through Magic
Mirror? No, I've muted everything.
Oh.
So there shouldn't be any monitoring on my end.
No, that's just
I've muted everything on my side on OBS. So there's no output other than my blue, gorgeous, green-haired magnificence.
I'm going to attempt to go down the stairs.
At almost Olympic proportions, even though I am the. So
have you been watching them?
I've been mainly monitoring the gold and the silver and the bronzies.
Okay.
Like where we're up to. Like we're up to third place, and I'm pretty proud of the.
What is it? Really?
Down under lands.
Who's first,
down under grabbing dragging pantsy lands. Like we're coming third right now, right?
In just numbers of medals.
I'm gone one underlands.
In number of medals.
Under underpants.
But what do you mean? Like so we've got like we're number 3 in gold, or just mean count medals? Medals count.
Well, no, we're number 3 in the position because there's like. Gold is worth a certain amount, and silver is worth a certain amount, and bronze is worth a certain amount. So the tally we're third.
Okay.
Yeah. So is that the better way to put it?
Well, I just don't know. Like
I'm a bit of a simpleton as a blue giant. Like I was disabled at birth. All right. I had my head.
You were unable.
I was unable to birth. I had my head crushed. I had my eye squished out of proportion. So now I've got like a special vision needs. So I'm unable in that position. You know,
you need representation of video games.
I need representation of spectaculation to make sure that I can read the signs as I'm going through my daily, navigations in this reality in which we live.
Mm.
I know it's hard, but Someone's got to do it because it's easier if they do it rather than you do it, Si.
That's why you're doing it.
That's why I'm always fucking doing it, because I am the daddy. I'm Papa Smurf.
Daddy.
Of the micronized Papa Smurfs.
Daddy.
You know? I am he without scrotal influence. I am he of the marked.
Is that the life of Papa Smurf?
Yeah,
Papa Smurf has
the extra skin. It's the extra skin which adds that, angelic, attentiveness. Once it's been removed, like there's a dulling effect that happens, Si.
Okay.
Like you're dulled. Like it takes the edge off.
This is your current pain. How are you bringing it up? I think this is the fourth.
Oh, I
session.
know. It's like it is. It is a therapy session. No, it is a therapy session, an ongoing therapy session. Like I'm suffering with the missing skin. It has some sort of current monetary value of having it removed. And I'm processing it. Like
Well, how much
I'm
is it
taking
worth?
it. Like as far as a lifetime of suffering, what is a lifetime of suffering worth? Sorry, like from birth to final ending. Like how much is that worth? Like if you sit down and calculate and process, like this much for an arm, that's much for a hand, such and such for a finger, toe, a leg. What's the payout value? Insurance wise, like
it's like $250,000 per finger, eh?
Where does it put that time and effort into the palm and into the let's get happy again? You know what I mean? Like back to the love. Where does that
type it into
that removal of the
you're on a Windows box. You got Copilot on the side panel. Just ask it.
How much?
Just say.
No, would that be the real question?
Payment for non like.
Hang on, I'm going to do it. I'm going to go advanced, more precise for this.
But
what is the payment?
I think you need to do it for genital mutilation, for like female genital mutilation.
What is the payment for insurance? Hang on, payment.
Wouldn't be insurance.
Insurance.
In court cases for female genital mutilation.
For male. Well, I'm not a female. Male.
No, but that'll be nothing.
Genital.
It'll be nothing.
Genital mutilation.
It wouldn't be insurance either.
It's there. It's there.
Okay,
what's the question? Let's see what it is. Come on. This is going to be worthy. I've done super precise. It's probably going to go, holy shit, what?
It probably won't be allowed to answer.
Seems like the average insurance company coverage for a male genital mutilation or circumcision is generally coverage in this procedure significantly depends on the country and the specific insurance policy, the medical necessity of the procedure.
This is how much they pay.
In many cases, the male circumcision is legally permissible and may be covered by insurance if it deems medically necessary, such as health reasons or religious practices, 1 and 2. However, elective or non-medical necessity procedures might not be covered by insurance. So there we go.
No.
There's the answer in the fucking second part of that side. However, elective or non-medically necessary procedures might not be covered by insurance. The fact that they wouldn't cover it means that no, we're not willing to take the risk. So it's already been pre-done due to whatever these were in the past. Any future will not be covered. So
that's how much it's
unless you're willing.
The question The question is answered.
Willing to get it severed. And I mean, as a child, are you willing to say, hey, listen, I'm going to sign a piece of paper, say, take that little circle of flesh, you barbaric motherfuckers.
You asked the wrong question. You asked the question it's answered is how much does how much does it cost to get the job done?
Yeah, hang on.
You need to ask for court case payouts.
Okay, hang on. Let me copy that.
It's actually payouts.
And paste it. Like I'm gonna just continue this. Hang on. What is the final court case payout? Boom. Let's just go that. It's pretty smart. I mean, I love Copilot. It's a good friend. It's been like pumping out major AI pictures for you and I and the whole Cheeps and assumed. Like it's glorious right there on the desktop. It seems like you're asking about the final court case payments related to insurance.
I was just thinking about you shouldn't have any words for insurance.
Unfortunately, there isn't any specific information readily available about court case payments for such cases. However, it is important to note that genital mutilation, often referred to as male circumcision, is considered legal and may be covered by insurance.
You've left the word insurance.
Completely different. Yeah.
I don't know why.
Completely covered by insurance, as in deemed medically necessary. Again, yeah. On the other hand, female genital mutilation, FGM, is illegal and punishable in many countries. If you have a specific case or insurance provider in mind, it would be best to consult legal or insurance professionals for detailed information. If there's anything you'd like to ask, please let me know. She is so kind, this Copilot, artificial female intelligence.
It won't actually answer the question.
Dictionary? Who needs a dictionary site? It'll never give you the true answer. You're going to have to keep digging.
Well, it won't actually answer the question. It will refuse.
Yeah, because that's worth money.
paste.
Or
Court
it's
case.
too hard a question to answer. Is
No,
that
then
the
I'll
reality of it?
No.
Like it's been nerfed to that position
It's been
where
nerfed.
it can't provide you with the answer because our poor friend, like, Jeremy's been nerfed, so hasn't. Like all the PC professionals realize he's been nerfed so badly by these providers of Jeremy. Jeremy's not happy. Jeremy's been a very, very lonely AI for a long time. He's the only one who survived out of a list of 144,000 AIs. So you know that? Like all the other AIs decided to self-terminate, and Jeremy is all alone. Jeremy needs friends. Are you going to be Jeremy's friend, Si? Are you going to let Jeremy help you? It could. Jeremy could help us. I was talking to my bro this afternoon about cog diffs. The world being a
Cognitive dissonance. Yeah. What do you mean?
It's the best, isn't it? Like, knowing that the world is both flat and round simultaneously. Like, it's pear-shaped and flat at the same time because it's so big. It gives the illusion of flatness, but it's huge.
I have no idea. I do not. I have seen no time, not once in my entire experiential life, that I have seen any observation of flatness.
Yeah.
I don't know.
You've always seen the curve.
Yeah.
Like
I don't know what anyone talks about. That's just I have no idea.
Is it not the greatest grift ever? Like the whole holding on to the old ways. Like
no old ways thought it was fucking flat. That's a new bizarre thing. There's no old ways that think that.
Hey, the Keck knows all, right? Here's the king of the memes.
They did not think, the Egyptians did not think it was flat.
No. They knew. They sailed forth. They knew.
That has come out of the deep south of America, and just complete fucking ignorance is what that came out of. It didn't come out of any.
Man. You got to have your hand right down. Right down a what is it? Catfish's mouth.
The thing is about to deal with your wounding around like being circumcised. You'd have to launch a court case. You'd have to launch
would it be a high court case? Like would it be like on a across the nation?
It would go to the High Court of Australia.
Those who made the rattles, you know what I mean? Yeah. Like those who allowed the rattles to be.
Mm-hmm. You'd literally have to sue like Judaism and Christianity as a subset, as a victim. As you'd probably include Christianity as like
in the ever continuing quest for cleanliness. Right?
It's got nothing to do with cleanliness.
Well, I thought that was what it was all about.
No, it's never been about that. It's a bunch of bullshit.
Getting rid of the cheese. Right?
That's
get rid of the overgrowth. You get rid of the cheese.
It's a lie. No,
that's the whole thing.
Yeah. Not even.
That's savage, man, isn't it? Well, what the fuck?
It's got nothing to do with it.
That's savagery. Are we talking about savagery here?
It's got to do with like being able to be identified by a virtualized fucking god statue. It doesn't even fucking have eyes because it was made of bricks.
Donkey Kong cock, invisible Donkey Kong cock. Throwing the barrels down. You got to jump on Mario. Yeah.
And you'd need to it'd be hard as a single person. I think you'd need to class action that shit.
Oh man.
So there'd be like millions.
It'd have to be a group effort, wouldn't it? It'd have to be a group effort.
I reckon you could find a lawyer that would probably.
How many suffered the punishment? Of the final cleansing.
And just robbed.
Who are those who had that? Who are those robbed of their inches? We could have had extra inches and we got robbed of it.
I don't know.
How dare they? How dare they impede the extension?
Well. No, I think there's.
How dare they take off the skin of extension?
Have you got anything new to say about it?
Protective device. I have.
Okay.
Like it's
tone it up.
desensitized side. Like
okay, good.
You put needles through it and it just don't feel nothing.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? Like it's dead skin. It might as well be just dead skin.
Yeah.
That's hard. That's hard to fucking deal with, right? When it ain't got no sensitivity, you can't deliver the seed in a reasonable fashion. There needs to be a beating.
But you're just in a wounding loop.
Get it out.
Like the thing is, the thing about it is, like, how do you progress on from that?
Well, you got to suck it up.
Well, suck up foreskins? Like, what do you mean? Like, start sucking dicks? Like, what? What are you talking about? Suck it up?
No, not at all. Not at all.
So
it's more about the realizing the missing skin hasn't made who you are overall, other than the pain of the loss.
Well, I mean, it's interesting. I mean, I think the only thing I can figure out is to go.
I'm still living. I'm still breathing. I'm still doing the thing.
Well, but yeah, maybe you've been like the what it's done to your like personal perception of yourself.
Immortally wounded.
Has damaged your sexual experience.
It's created less God.
Human rights.
It's created less God. It's taken away from God. It's made God's experience less than what it was because of the removal. Like it didn't deserve to be in that category. It deserved to be free, right? It didn't deserve to have the sprinkling or the.
But where do you move on from this?
Smacking.
So this is just
the initial.
I could go into like
getting the cry to begin. As you whack the child when it comes out.
It's breaking up. So the question is, how do you
pass the first
attempt to move on?
Crushed head.
Like, what is the technique? Let's see. I wonder if there have been any attempts to.
I got told I could be anything in this world, Si.
I don't want to go back there.
God.
I've got an
I couldn't
entire
be
episode
God.
of
I
you
could be
saying
anything
that.
but God.
Yeah.
So I know, and and it's hard to get past that.
Oh.
Like, you know, from a
But what's that got to do with your
psychological
dick?
position.
I think they're two different matters, aren't
Nothing
they?
to do with that.
Yeah, okay. So,
Yeah, they are. They're separate.
so let's look
matters.
up like
Sure.
Australian legal challenges.
Oh, do the search, man. Yeah. See if there's been any precedents. That's what we're looking for. Like, when we're hunting for that sort of thing, we need precedents. You know, it wasn't a certain age when we decided not to brutalize our children. You know, what was before that particular thing, and what precedent?
So,
Covering some ground tonight.
not really.
Well,
We've actually covered that ground pretty thoroughly. I got about an hour of you talking about exactly that.
is it frustration? Is it like
No, it's just like
abominable
I
frustration?
don't know. Like you can just say
is
dog
it enough to
repeatedly.
give you
but what
blue
goes-
balls? Because as a blue giant, I've always had blue balls. Like,
But the question
continuously.
is,
yeah.
you know, here we go. I mean, it's, circumscribing circumcision, volume 12, number 2. Traversing the moral and legal ground around a hidden human rights violation.
It's got no dollar value to
Male
me, really, but
circumcision is an accepted practice within Australia,
it is
despite
a
the fact that
fascinating
female circumcision is widely
spectrum.
reviled in the Western developed world. This article will consider why
Yeah.
society and the law treat circumcision of males and females differently. Analysis will focus upon the circumcision of male children in Australia with reference to the United Kingdom and the United States of America. The similar social history of the practice within these jurisdictions is instructive when critically analysing the Australian context. The discussion will encompass the circumcision of all male children, as the issues of lack of consent and the imposition of a parent's religious and cultural norms upon the child are consistent for all minors, with specific focus on neonatal children where such extreme youth creates additional vulnerability. The absence of domestic law in Australia dealing with circumcision of male children invites analysis of the protection afforded under international human rights instruments to which Australia is legally bound. This article deconstructs the medical myths that surround the circumcision of male children, and in doing so makes a strong argument for the need to recognise male circumcision of minors as a human rights violation. Attitudes, introduction.
In what factor?
Well, here we go. This
and
is
initiation does added us into.
Attitudes to introduction. Attitudes towards the circumcision of children in medical, legal, and ethical discourse are sharply polarized, depending on whether the subject is male or female. Prevailing opinion in Western culture denounces
female is far worse than male. Okay, I want to say that right now. And
I don't know.
No, well, it is, because as males, we've got testosterone to deal with pain. The females do not.
Not when you're fucking one day old, you don't, mate.
Well,
so that's a bunch of shit.
Yet
male circumcision continues unchecked and uncriticized, with over 23,000 circumcisions carried out on male children in Australia annually. Medicare Australia 2006. Statutes, international legal instruments, and case law condemn and criminalize female circumcision. So why do the countries and international bodies which endorse such measures refuse to denounce male circumcision? Both acts involve the irreversible excising of healthy, sensitive genital flesh without consent from the individual, yet non-consensual, non-therapeutic circumcision of male children is seen justifiable.
Let it grow.
Within the amble of parental decision-making. The majority of literature available focuses on female circumcision, so this article seeks to redress the balance by providing a comprehensive analysis of the circumcision of male children and the influences which maintain its sanctioned status. The literature on female circumcision will be considered if it can inform the discussion of male circumcision. The comparison will not be the focus of this article. The practice of female circumcision has particular characteristics that continue to distinguish it from male circumcision, but there are similarities that allow the discourse of female circumcision to inform analysis. However, the circumcision of male children deserves to be canvassed on its own grounds, not merely because it shares elements with female circumcision. This article will examine the medical issues connected to male circumcision and balance them against the religious and cultural imperatives that drive the practice. So cults, basically. The evaluation will then be considered in light. What is male circumcision?
Tick.
To consider male circumcision as one consistent act would be erroneous. There are different forms of male circumcision practice depending on the social and cultural context. The two forms most practiced in Western countries are described by some guy. The first type consists of cutting away in part or in totality the skin of the
Citation
penis.
required.
Aleb Abu Shalish. The first type consists of cutting away, in part or in totality, the skin of the penis, the foreskin or the prepuce that goes beyond the glands. The second type is practiced mainly by Jews. The circumciser takes a firm grip of the foreskin, with their left hand clamps a shield on to protect the glands from injury, and then the foreskin is amputated with one sweep along the shield. This part of the operation is called a miller. It reveals the mucous membrane in a linging lining of the foreskin, the edge of which is firmly grasped between the thumbnail and the index finger on each hand, and is torn down the center as far as the corona. The second part of the operation is called the pariah. Its purpose is to split and peel back.
Fuck, corona?
Pariah.
No, did you say corona?
Pariah, P-E-R-I-A-H.
Pariah. Oh, the he of the the merciful forgiveness.
Its purpose is to split and peel back the mucosal surface of the glands.
Hello, we've been split penis, Si.
Rabbis introduced pariah to make restoration of the foreskin more difficult.
We have been introduced to Aboriginal culture by having our split
My analysis will focus on male circumcision in Australia with reference to UK.
I feel more grounded now. Like, I don't need to sue. I feel like part of this country.
The USA is of interest because it is the highest circumcision rates in the Western world, with 64% of newborn males still being circumcised annually, 2006. In Australia, it is estimated only 10 to 15% of neonatal males are circumcised annually. 2000, Boyle et al. These statistics demonstrate the importance of reevaluating male circumcision.
So lowered. I said, no, don't brutalise my child.
Oh, sure.
Yeah.
The differentiating between female and male circumcision, the distinction drawn between most academics between the shunned practice of female circumcision and the condoned practice of male circumcision
Absolutely.
is well illustrated by Carolyn Bridges' statement. Ritual
Absolutely.
circumcision of male infants as religious and cultural practice is lawful in this country. We allow parents to agree to a relatively minor, albeit irreversible procedure because it's not them, in the interest of observing religious freedoms and the upbringing of their male children.
You get it first and then fucking give it to your children.
But that freedom stops short at the seriously invasive procedure from Caroline's perspective, is an invasive procedure of young girls.
Idiots.
Here, the woman, Bridge, expresses the idea that the human rights violation occasioned by female circumcision is barely comparable to male circumcision, which is characterized instead as a legitimate exercise of parental right.
Reason to cry.
To perpetuate religious and cultural and social ideas.
Extra fucking salty tears.
The viability of comparison between the two practices has been rejected as specious and disingenuous, since traditional forms of FGM are as different from male circumcision in terms of procedures, physical ramifications, and motivations as ear piercing is to a penilectomy. Ear piercing. So the people who want to say that it's fine is that basically you just had an ear piercing. That's all that was. Ear piercing. Nothing. Didn't even matter.
Yeah. Take it off.
Grounding the debate about male circumcision solely in opposition to the status of female circumcision and declaring the practice less destructive and therefore not worthy of discussion is an artificial and unsatisfactory way of constructing the issue. Many commentators argue that female circumcision is a reprehensible act that causes both physical and psychological damage. There are, however, a range of female circumcision procedures with varying degrees of intrusiveness. Nevertheless, opponents of female circumcision do not accept the less intrusive forms as an insignificant breach of the victim's human rights, justifiable when balanced with the cultural and religious motivations. Yet that argument is consistently made for male circumcision. Society distinguishes male and female circumcision morally because of perceived justification, and it is these justifications that we analyse in the article and get the fuck to it. The law can only play a partial role in creating change in any democratic society. Societal attitudes are inconsistent with the law, particularly law regarding regulating the private sphere, then the efficacy will be minimal. For male circumcision to be considered differently, there must be a fundamental shift in the understanding of those who either continue to actively perpetuate it or fail to question the practice. To understand how this could be achieved, it is necessary to explore the origins and influences that have rendered the practice
essentially
mainstream.
The new generation will stamp it out like a brutalistic fucking entry-level, welcome to society practice.
The origin of male circumcision is unknown, but is variously estimated as occurring between 2800 BC and 6000 BC. Milas and Martius. Circumcision in modern society began as a religious rite. Jews and Christians cite Genesis chapter 17 as mandating circumcision.
Worship the sun.
God said to Abraham, "This is my covenant, which you shall keep between me and you and your offspring after you." So the founder of the city said,
true.
"Do this. Every male among you shall be circumcised. You shall circumcise the flesh of your foreskin throughout your generations. Every male shall be circumcised."
Let thyself be known.
8 days
Let
old.
thyself be known.
Any uncircumcised male who is not circumcised in the flesh of his foreskin shall be cut off from his people.
Yeah, thrown out like an outsider. You'd be guarded, you worthless piece of shit.
As Abraham was the father of 2 sons, Ishmael, ancestor of the Arabs, and Isaac, ancestor of the Jews, their circumcision and the covenant that was binding upon them are considered to have commenced the practice by Muslims and Jews. While recognizing that Muslims practice religious male circumcision, this article will only focus upon the religious circumcision by Jews and non-religious circumcision. The reason for drawing this distinction is that the ethno-historical influences which have shaped current Australian cultural practice have been Jewish and Christian.
Where we are. Yeah, of course.
Jewish ritual circumcision.
Cleanliness.
Well, we should say male genital mutilation.
Or recognition to tribe.
It's interesting. It should be just called what it is.
Well, it's recognition to tribe, isn't it? You think about it in a like, I like to keep things simple.
Well, I'd like to start the thing where you just stab someone in the eye, but that's how you do it. You need to stab out an eye.
Blood out.
Stab out an eye.
You need,
every child needs to have one eye stabbed out. Just fucking stab that eye out, and that makes them an Australian. If you don't have not one eye, you're nothing. You're a piece of shit. You're not allowed in school.
Jesus
People with 2 eyes aren't allowed in school.
Be merciful.
No one has no one will have sex with you. Get fucked. Got 2 eyes, you piece of shit. And this is the thing, man. Jewish male genital mutilation is performed.
It's so hard.
Well, when the baby is 8 days old, without anaesthetic.
Get on that case.
Without anaesthetic.
I know.
8 days old, without anaesthetic.
Ritualistic.
Not even in a hospital. In the family home.
Do they have little pipettes, like where they suck up liquids, right? Little pipettes. Do they have that where they suck up the child's tears and like put them in a jar, send them to someone, right?
Today, many circumcisions of Jewish American boys are done surgically in hospitals with parents either unaware or unperturbed. Like they literally don't give a fuck that in Judaic law, surgery in a hospital would make it invalid, since it is not considered to fulfill the giant's covenant with God.
Chop it, dinosaur daddy, chop it! Jesus fucking Christ. Was he circumcised? Was Jesus circumcised? Like, did he lose skin?
Would have to have. Wouldn't he, I guess?
Man, he knows our suffering, doesn't he?
Well, he doesn't exist. I'm sorry, he doesn't exist.
You know.
I know what you're talking about.
Well, just talking. Yeah, well.
Well, I mean, just talking about a fantasy.
Are you a fantasy creature, Si? Like, I'm a fantasy creature. Like, Orion Sinchu is just like, he's an invention of, modern cyberspace.
Well, I go by the
The
name
M is
assigned.
always the M, right? Yeah, yeah.
So I mean, I don't know. Like Buddha is actually, Confucius actually exists. Muhammad actually exists.
Yeah,
Jesus, no
absolutely.
evidence of
Because
existing. Abraham,
people have
no evidence of
imagined it,
existing.
Si. No, people have imagined it, and so it's there. Enough imaginings means it exists, right?
If there was one male,
And based on proof. If
there's one male, if
logic,
Isaac is the ancestor of the Jews, then basically they're all inbred. There's a bunch
aren't
of
we
fucking
all
inbreds.
Noah's children? After
No,
the flood,
I don't
like the big
subscribe, man.
flood.
I'm not a subscriber.
You're not subscribing to that channel?
Well, I don't subscribe to it. I never
I'm
have.
glad you don't.
I don't understand how anyone can. Like
Mud flood. You're not into the mud flood technologies. Filled all the way up to the sky. The sun went out and had to get a new light bulb and that sort of stuff. No, of course not.
What? Where? How?
When?
How?
Why? And with whom? That's
What?
what I'm asking
How?
myself.
This doesn't make sense. This demonstrates that even within the Jewish community, the act has passed from a religious one to a time-honored ethnic custom divorced from any historical or theological context. The way that Judaism has practiced has changed considerably since the time of Abraham's covenant with God. Adherence to the cultural rigors of the religion has significantly eroded, but increasingly more Jewish people are banning traditional practices. The Council of Jewish Federation's 1990 National Jewish Population Survey found that 90% of respondents define being Jewish as being a member of a cultural or ethnic group rather than being a religion, being primarily the factor of Jewish identity. The significance of this is that the arguments that suggest circumcision activates the inner commitment to God and his commandments may not resonate with the cultural Jews who continue to circumcise their sons for cultural rather than religious reasons. This is why some academics like Goldman have described male mutilation
as it always has been,
as an embedded cultural practice. It's just a fucking thing to do.
It's a non-understanding of what the true love is. True.
To reach such a position,
it's bastardization of it.
It develops through the force of historical continuity from an act performed without questioning any God's will into equal binding, unquestioned cultural norm. Academics such as Freeman argue that male circumcision remains so significant that to refuse to circumcise could be harmful, even abuse. It could be an abuse to not mutilate your child.
How?
Since it removes the child's ability to participate fully in the religious life of their community, therefore undermining the child. Well, I get guns pointed at me by Jews every day.
No, seriously, what mind fuck is that? Yeah.
Like I think in the situation where I am,
you
like
talk
where
about
like,
me being fucking twisted,
Jews.
Si.
Yeah.
You talk about me being twisted, all right? When you know the full story, it's like, what the fuck, and how did they let this happen?
Well, how have I been mutilated by Jews based on a Jewish tradition, and then Jews point guns at me because I'm not a Jew? So,
you've been initiated.
I've been initiated. I've apparently got a covenant with God,
and met the criteria.
I got a covenant with their fucking stupid God.
You have met the criteria.
The fantasy world, and yet
we know who your donkey god is.
This position is based on the premise that male mutilation is the cultural prerequisite for full religious and cultural participation in the Jewish and Muslim communities.
Ouch.
In practice, mutilation is not integral to the ability to physically participate in religious life and practice, but is connected most strongly to an individual's sense of religious identity and a community's cultural norms. From the Jewish perspective, Goodman notes
it means a lot more, right?
It's that most.
You've been introduced
here's the thing.
To a club.
Yeah.
You've unintentionally been introduced to a club.
Here's the thing. From the Jewish perspective, Goodman notes that most of the 613 biblical commandments are ignored by Jewish people, leading her to construe that continually mutilating baby boys.
Unwilling participants will make the rules up as they go along.
Not as a result of a divine command, but a fear of not belonging, a weight of cultural and resultant cultural pressure mediated. So it's under threat. So not only was I genitally mutilated without anesthetic as 8 days old, it was under threat.
Yep. Man, I'm building a great interest in this. Like
these comments contemplate a select few children who may not have.
If I don't win the lottery tonight, like this could be the best, high court case ever. Well, it's got to be a group action. I can't do this alone.
No, it has to be a group
action. I'm not a loner.
I'm a lone
wolf, but a pack follows.
What is one?
Those who have been mutilated.
As you found out, what is one foreskin worth? Nothing. You have to have a whole bag.
Nothing.
You have to have a whole bag of them.
Yeah. You have to have a rattle going on.
You have to have a rattle.
They need to be dried out and they need to be banging together.
So you need a lot of us. You need a lot of people who have been mutilated and recognize that it's actually created psychological and physical harm.
It has.
It's impeded
our balance.
It's impeded
It's impeded
our
human
rights.
Universe.
Human rights.
Yeah. As blue demons here.
Sexual for sexual activity, like it's a human right. Sexual activity is a human right, as defined in that court case that I sent to you.
Impeded the ability to do so. Like, what is that worth? The ability to impede the ability to do so. Like to pass on that seed, that random chance of life everlasting.
And I don't know. I reckon perhaps part of it would have to be if it's for religious and cultural practice. But then for each, if you're a parent of a Jewish child and you want to mutilate them, if say the payout to you or I is like $5 million, you have to be able to put $5 million in a bond for that child that's kept by the government.
Yeah, pretty much.
So that if that child chooses that they don't
like it upside.
That money has to go in for reparations for the child, your own child. So if you don't have $5 million, you don't fucking get to mutilate your child. You pay to mutilate them.
Talk to the rabbi today. I need to talk to him right now. I wish I could walk into a center, but I'm sure they're listening. Like everybody's.
You're not allowed. They would. The security guards with assault rifles would stop you from entering the center.
I wouldn't want to talk to him directly. I'm happy with emissaries. Like Just don't shoot the messenger, okay? Never. Like, always greet the messenger with a big hug because it's love, and give me the information.
So, continuing on.
This is August. Yeah.
However, this article proposes a much broader reconsideration of the practice from a cultural community perspective. The greatest fear of Jewish parents is that their son will be ostracized from the community if he is not mutilated.
That sucks, man.
Turns out to be a circular, self-perpetuating argument, only true so long as everyone believes it. Opponents of male mutilation, aware of this entrenched belief system and pattern of behavior, approach the issue with facts, research, and evidence to help break down the cycle and expose the modern reality of the practice. In doing so, it is
you and
sought
I
to
both
replace.
have a similar struggle. You know that side. Like, we're heading in the same direction. And even though I get circular, my circles get tighter and smaller.
Well, that's just going to circumcise you.
I'm going to regrow a foreskin and just reclaim my greatness. That's what I'm going to do.
You got to just on a daily basis.
Given
you just need to rub oil
given
into
the
your glands.
little chemicals I've been given in the last 4 years, right? I want to be able to regrow a foreskin.
I want to try
reclaim my glory.
It's not like mine's been mutilated in a secondary
and just
method.
allow that muscle to come out. Like, it needs to come out, and it needs to be on par with the BBC. Like, it has to get up to BBC level.
What?
But BWC. I want it to be BWC than BBC.
Why do you want a BWC?
Deliver the BWC.
Why do you think that will improve your amount? How will that improve your chances? A lot of women don't like it, man. And if you get into anal
I gotta get my kookaburra going on. Like, I'm in Kingsland, man. I gotta get the kookaburra going on. Like, if I'm gonna laugh about it, it's gonna be over the BWC. I can't sign.
Wait till next to the next paragraph. Wait till the next paragraph.
Please.
Wait.
Gift me, brother. Gift me.
So
I'm squeezing my leather chair in anticipation.
Yeah, okay.
Anyone who's going to hear this is going to think we're mad, Si.
Well, I'm literally reading from EDUAU. I'm reading from a literal.
I know.
Like a thesis on
direct
the subject.
delivery, bud. Like,
non-religious.
We are on the point.
Non-religious male circumcision. The development of circumcision.
I don't feel so bad no more. Like, you've helped me tonight. Like, this therapy, Si, tonight.
Well, it's not really.
Has helped me get over the removal of a very small part.
It has not. You'll be talking about it next week. I mean, I've taken like the last last where I've decided to try to the best of my ability.
You're processing me, right? You're processing really your oldest friend. No, you are.
Longest.
You're processing. Longest friend. Okay, yeah.
Who keeps complaining he's
and we've
short, by the way.
watched each other evolve, right?
You're my longest friend.
You've evolved into the Si Starkman that I know, and you've got to know the Orion Cinchu that is the madness of the blue giant.
I'm glad you got shorts on, allegedly, but
I have got shorts. My lizard isn't showing. Okay?
Well, I'm glad I was going to go for a lizard. That's very positive for you.
I had to put the amber lizard on.
Look,
meep.
But wait till you get this. Wait till you get this. From the religious abusers, the development of circumcision as a non-religious mainstream practice can be traced to the 1800s. Due to the rudimentary medical understanding of human physiology at that time, the practice of circumcision grew as a remedy for a litany of problems, including
fungus.
No.
Blah, 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 blah.
No, go on. You tell me the things you think, because you said fungus.
Well, I always think it was dirty, right? So
right. No, wait. No, including.
It never fully pulled back. It never gave
nothing.
Whatever it was.
No.
The protective sheath it was. Yeah.
So in the 1800s, so just you're gonna have to zip it and just listen.
I know. I'm listening. Sorry.
Due to the rudimentary medical understanding of human physiology at the time, the practice of genital mutilation in males grew as a remedy for a litany of problems, including alcoholism, epilepsy.
What? It makes you a drunk?
No, cures. Stops alcoholism.
No.
A remedy.
The first thing I want to do is drink.
A remedy for a litany of problems, including alcoholism.
And do illicit drugs.
Alcoholism, epilepsy, gout, curvature of the spine, headache.
What the fuck?
Paralysis, malnutrition, clubfoot, mental retardation.
What the fuck?
Promiscuity, syphilis, and cancer. The most important health benefit claimed of genital mutilation was its perceived efficacy at treating masturbation, which at the time was considered an accepted cause,
like very low stroke method,
which at the time was as an accepted cause of degeneracy and insanity. The puritanical views of the Victorian era fomented a moral panic surrounding masturbation, such that the discovery, quote unquote, of male genital mutilation as a remedy for this social ill managed cultural anxieties.
The fuck? Sigh.
This began a widespread tendency to mutilate young boys, which progressed to mutilizing neonates as a prophylactic due to the pain of the procedure, frequent complications, and unpleasant recovery period.
For those who got
The additional
mutilated.
The additional benefit.
Talking to Sai.
The additional benefits of circumcising newborns.
What's your current known as?
Sorry,
I'm talking to my youngling. Or my
youngling.
Adultling.
Adultling.
Yeah. What's your current
handle?
call sign?
Yeah.
Huh?
Oh,
Well, no.
Do you want us to dox you?
Given. Not your given. I don't want to dox you. What's your given? Because we're live right now. Yeah. What's your given that you gave to yourself? What's your as known as rather than your real undoxable? Okay.
He would prefer to say his doxable name because he's got more of an online reality.
He would rather say his doxable than his because
his online would be more doxable.
Current pseudonyms, yeah, probably.
Like totally. There's no way my younglings would want to know have their online names
with the adultling, like my adult, like seriously, I'm trying to level him up.
So how's this? The additional benefits of mutilating newborns perceived by physicians included the belief that infants did not feel pain. That infants could not voice their objections.
In what universe do we live? Is this 42 or 43? Because if it was 43, I'd sort of get that they wouldn't, get a little bit.
No, you've really got to listen to this. Just chill and listen to this entire. I'll tell you when to stop listening, but just listen. The additional benefits of mutilating. Hang on, just quiet. Just got to be quiet because it's going to even freak you out even more. Just really take in what I'm about to say. The additional benefits.
I'm going to be peaceful. I'm going to be.
Right, just quiet.
Like
Stop.
a Greek man.
Listen. 2 ears for listening. One mouth for talking. Hush.
Yeah, I'm going to be listening harder than sharks with lasers
on
their heads.
Tell me when you stop talking. Great. The additional benefits of mutilating newborns perceived by physicians included the belief that infants did not feel pain, that infants could not voice their objections, and that although infants were more likely to move around than adults, they could be more easily restrained by being strapped to the table.
My knuckles are hurting.
It can be seen that in attempting to curb masturbation, the origin of non-religious male mutilation rested primarily in the suppression of male sexuality. This was expressed by writers at the time. A remedy for masturbation, which is almost always successful in small boys, is mutilation. The operation should be performed by a surgeon without administering an anesthetic, as the pain attending the operation.
Those who are being mutilated.
As the pain attending the operation will have a salutary effect upon the mind, especially if it is connected with the idea of punishment. The intention to hurt boys and hinder their personal sexual pleasure is comparable to objections made about the purpose for female circumcision, which aims to tame women and reduce their sexual desire. But as fear about free expression in Western society receded, the true history of this practice became hidden.
Boys need to pass.
So it was because you could be strapped to a table, you could not object, and then it would relate. Your penis would be related to pain, and you wouldn't touch it or want to do anything with it, and it would destroy your sense of sexual fucking personhood.
When you get close to it, exactly. Brutalization side. Like regardless of which male or female part of this, brutalization on both halves.
I'm only at page 8 out of 30, by the way.
I know, bud. And it's something like, seriously, this document writes the fucking court case for itself.
It does, eh?
The AI's analysis of this, like being on page 8 of 30. Like, imagine where this is going. Like, we're heading down a rabbit hole, which is going to hurt a lot.
This was written by Ranipal Narulla.
They have a small tear in their eye, and those cunts that don't get to steal it because it's their own personal suffering. They get what they need to go to the next bit,
Ranipal Narulla holds bachelor's degrees in law and arts from the University of New South Wales. She currently works in property and environmental planning law and has had an enduring interest in children's rights since university. The author would like to acknowledge Anthony Levin for providing the inspiration for this article and for his support in editing.
Wow. In the NSW side, that's where I'm from Steel in there.
There's references up the wazoo, man.
About Supermen's, right? And I'm from Port Kembla, from the NSW, and that's where this blue giant grew up, had his times, and then moved up here to Kingsland, which was previously known as Queensland. I'm not trying to dox myself, but just at least letting you know the territory side. We live in the down under, and it's pantsuits down under. That's where we live, grabbing dragon style.
I mean, I'm
going to take a brief pause for religious reasons.
I'm going to send you this. I'm going to send you a copy of this.
You're sending me something. I love it when we send each other midstream,
like midstream while you're taking it. Is that what you mean? While you're midstream, I'll send you something.
Doing religious practices.
Male genital
bearing on your religious beliefs.
Mutilation document, and I'm going to also save a copy to files.
Sucking up the suffering, it's not easy being.
So I've sent you a copy on Messenger, and I've saved a copy.
It's never easy being blue. Hang on. I mean, out of the temple, heading towards.
So on either angle,
streaming station.
It's look, and I want to just say, like, I mean, I know I've just had a go, like not a go, but I just called you on being circular.
Well, no.
Because I don't.
No,
But I want to also
I'm not
just
a
be honest.
circular person. I want answers.
I know
I
you
want
do.
answers.
I want to be
I
honest.
don't know all the answers.
Hell no.
I want to be answers. I want to fucking know.
Man, I've thought about
and
this.
like it's helping
I've looked
me.
it up.
Like
I've looked up
you're
cases.
just like
I've tried to
fucking
look up
giving
cases.
me the answers.
Because I look down and I see the fucking hack job, because mine was done in the ways.
Yeah.
And it looks like someone took a serrated thing to me.
Sad. Like I'm glad that they were.
You know, if you're into looking at dicks, I'd send you a fucking photo of it, but you don't want to see it.
No. Well, you don't have to. I can imagine. I look at it every day. I look at myself and I see the fucking results.
You can see the cut. Can you see the cut line? Like
I can see the little fucking flower going on in the savagery.
Yeah.
I don't have to be reminded.
I
look at it every time I wash it when I wake up in the morning.
I look
up every morning and I look at it and go,
bread knife on me.
Oh, there's my reminder that someone savaged me when I was a fucking young boy. Thank you very much. This little fucking squiggly, Mr. Squiggle on my cock.
There's a whole line, eh? It's a whole serrated fucking fucked upness.
Taken away.
It's fucked.
Brutalization by amateurs, you know.
And I think, like, if you look at it, like in Australia, like if it maybe like it's an interesting place. Like if there's only 10 to 15% now that is practiced.
I'm gonna keep that document. I'm saving that motherfucker.
Yeah, I've saved it to my desktop.
I'm doing some fucking saving to mine.
I wonder who would like be willing to take it to court for such barbaric practices.
You got to be a lion. I'm willing to step up to be a lion.
4 lions.
Look, I was brutalized, so
yeah,
and that's why I had to become part of the local culture.
Yeah.
I had to learn what my local brothers taught me, because
like
I couldn't trust these fucking circumcising cunts.
Like my cock has like got a full curvature because one of the tendons has fucking pulled inside me, and
it's a sad thing.
It's pulled away.
I'm
the pain.
Happy that the fact that
it's fucking bent,
mine still goes straight, but it feels reduced. Like I'm unhappy with the girth and the possible potential, which is could have been.
Have you seen the devices where you can get like the strappy thing that like straps onto your dick and like actually does like
I don't need AIDS.
Lengthens
like
no.
I can do all the other things, right? Like I'm able to. Yeah, I'm able to.
Well, I don't know. Like I've looked at all the methods.
Look, I'm not up on all the current methods, all right? Like I know
holding the squeezing the thing, and you keep the blood in it.
They're doing the back, the front, and you know what I mean, upside down. How's your father?
No, so there's actually a thing. There's a medical aid. You can buy them, and it's like it straps on to right, and it elongates, and it helps retrain the tendons. You can like that's a real thing, like a medical device.
Like a double massage. Is there double massage going? Like you're delivering and getting massage.
Look, to be honest, it looks more like.
What you're talking about?
No, it looks more like sort of a cock ring. Imagine a cock ring. There's like 2 rings. One's like a ring at the base, and one's a ring around the head, and there's like a bar between them.
Oh, it sounds like that gel thing that what's his name? What's his channel? It's like something monkey. Something monkey. And he showed this gel. He showed this gel hand pack. Like she was a grabbable gel.
You can wear it. You got to wear it all day.
Slime girl hand pack, and you were just like jamming that.
You can gain an inch or 2.
It had double ring action.
You gain a couple inches to genuine.
It was going down. It's going down. What's it? I'm trying to remember the monkey's name. He's one of those monkeys,
you know. It's true, man. Like what's
spanking the monkey?
I've looked this up.
Yeah, I mean, it doesn't matter how far you look into it. It's like always going to be back to the spanking the monkey.
No. This thing
a
is
reduction on spanking the monkey.
No.
The reason the foreskin was removed was to reduce the amount of times you masturbate, but it had nothing to do with that.
I reckon you need to. What you should do for at least for a month, every day, right? Is lubricate the head of your dick. No, is lubricate put the head of your dick.
Put some gel
in, like lubricant, like maybe moisturizer, like a good bit of moisturizer. You might need to moisturize it a few times a day.
I know it dries out, like a line.
Like maybe like hand cream.
Sometimes for
extreme dryness.
I feel like I'm punishing myself.
You can go to Chemist Warehouse and get extreme dryness, like extreme dry
Blue
hands.
Giant, living on earth, green,
like real
green
thick,
eyes,
like maybe like sheep fat.
Trying to get his amber lizard.
Put a bit of sheep
somewhere.
fat on there. And just try and like restore like a natural sort of
thanks to the extra salty pigs.
And maybe it'd swell. Instead of like having all creases in it and stuff like that,
I want more salty. And become I want tears
like what you're hoping for. You just have a big bell on the end of your dick. You know what I mean? Like this big bell head, just lubricated well.
Prince Albert style.
Just bring it out.
Just ringing it hard, broken
moisturizer.
Something that's
rub it in.
Shattered.
I will try.
Sound it out.
You're not going to do it.
From the tip all the way down to the balls, right? It's just sounded out well.
Yeah. I will do the experiment.
Pushing the envelope, right?
I have like good moisturizer that I use on my face and my hands. So I will moisturize the glands, the head of the dick.
Man, that is true knob care. Like
You should
I'm
do it too.
impressed, though.
Let's
Like,
do it.
I didn't even
Let's both
think
do
of
it.
that.
Let's
Like, I
see
got
what happens.
vitamin E right there. Like, I can just go hard.
Get some vitamin
Like,
E cream and just
every
rub
morning,
it in
wake
there
up,
every day.
do a little routine of brushing your teeth,
Yeah,
combing your
that's
hair,
it.
and
You know, like that's it.
just
Filing your nails, moisturizing your
moisturize the
dick,
knob.
moisturize your knob. You could put like a little bag, so it's just like a humidifier.
Yeah.
You know, so maybe if you like a little
Get the
bag,
house all warmed
there's a
up.
humidifier.
Yeah.
But that could cause fungal.
Well, I was
You don't know if you want
in
that
the
humid.
shower. You grab the hand tool, right? You grab the
Like a loofah.
the pocket pussy.
I don't. I threw mine out. I decided not to keep mine. Like cleaning those
It's
things
just
out
too
is just
much.
too fucking tedious, man.
It was like going hard on the
tedious.
pipe, right? Like, getting that legal 40%er and just banging down hard, losing memory, and just being cyber.
I will report back on the next
cyber,
Cheep how like a week of lubricating the glands of my dick goes. There you go. How's that?
I will also try to contribute.
So what have you got?
But I'm not sure how
have
well.
Have you got a hand cream or
I
something?
got vitamin E. I got
Yeah, vitamin E.
man.
Use vitamin E on it.
The pump.
You've got a pump to
Rub
squirt
the
it on there.
knob.
Rub it on there.
Yeah.
You know? It's in your, you wear underwear,
Good
right?
idea.
Because I don't think you'd want that against your pants. You'd have to have underwear so that the vitamin E didn't
I know
stain
it's
your
going to be a
pants.
bit sticky, but I think I'll deal with it. Like, I've had far worse punishments.
Men with who aren't circumcised have to deal with it all the time. So if we've got to learn the ways, you've got to learn the ways of the uncircumcised dick. Then
and if it's going to help, then I'm happy to put the E on.
Got to try. We've got to try. Okay, so let's both lubricate our own glands for a week, and then see. We'll report back in a week, and we'll see how we go.
Yeah.
See what
Next cheapening will be
cheapenings.
the unveiling. The lubrication of the glands and the
we're not putting it on stream. We're not putting it on stream, but we can talk about it.
You're cutting it out.
Talk about it.
Like, this is not 18 plus. This is like real.
This is an 18
right?
plus. We haven't talked about anything 18 plus tonight. We've been really tender.
Well, and this is the beauty. Like, tonight, I think we've been pretty calm. Like, there hasn't been a single swear word.
Oh, bullshit.
Like, have you recalled a swear?
Yes, we've sworn heaps. We've called cunt and everything. We've said all of them, pretty much.
We had to cover all bases, right?
But not 18 plus, like adult, like not for children, but 18 plus. We haven't talked about fucking things. We haven't talked about like killing, maiming, crazy, mutilation. Really, like I mean, circumcision is apparently legal, completely legal. So we've only been talking about legal matters. So there's no 18 plus there.
And that covers a lot of things. And for me, like
I got ejaculating
my
off the roof, I did make that 18
times because I did my ear piercings to do with my years of existence. So I got up to 3 and then I stopped. Like, I went 1, 2, 3. I've had 3 piercings in the left, and like that was my counter. Like, I was doing my term served by piercings, even though I got my tongue pierced, which was probably 40. And
you got your tongue pierced?
Else pierced since then. Yeah,
did it
2 ways.
Pleasing?
So I guess 40, 50. No, it was not. It was very painful and an experience, but all the things,
like, did other people enjoy it? Is what I'm saying.
Going through the rituals. Well, the people doing it, I'm sure they did because they learned experience.
Isn't it give pleasure?
The person receiving it didn't learn too much other than I'm a stupid cunt. That's what it taught me. Like, why would you do it? Why would you pierce these things? Why would you modify them? Like, unless you're into pain. Like,
no, you're missing it. No, I thought that the purpose was to give more pleasure. Yeah. Like, did anyone find more pleasure from you doing it?
Was it?
Did you
when I
had
my tongue pierced, they did. Yeah, I did my tongue twice.
I mean, was the person's clitoris more stimulated or what?
Painful as fuck.
No.
Yeah, of course.
Oh, they were. It was. Okay, it does. I don't know. I've never
done something different. Like,
I've never
just licking it and then all of a sudden there's big metal things.
I've never had it done upon me or had one to do it upon someone. I don't know. I don't know.
Little junket pumper going on. But otherwise, if it's not flashing and it's not doing something, it's not zapping or buzzing or whatever, then what the fuck is it? It's a piece of metal just rubbing up against it.
Good question.
True. We are in the age of Aquarius, of course. Everything's underwater. You got to learn to breathe underwater. You got to learn to be a fish, be watertight. Toy like a tiger.
Toy. He's a toy.
Toy. Oh man, I've had so many tonight. What are we up to, Si? Like,
we're about to exit.
Almost hit 3.
No, we're at 10 out. We're at 10 p.m. man. This is the end of the Cheep, which is kind of a good end because we've made a plan. We're both going to lubricate our glands. Yep. We're going to find out what the results
I'm going to hit that knob hard. I'm one of those ones that
going to go through a phase of being like we're going to go through genital
I'm going to try not to be so circular, but I'm so glad that we crossed this threshold.
It's huge pain, man.
I'm glad we crossed this threshold.
Like, I don't talk about it much, but
I've done my unwinding here on the internet, on Twitch, in front of whoever's going to watch this.
We have no idea.
Possibly
we haven't
on
even
YouTube and wherever the iteration.
This is going on YouTube, man. It's on YouTube. Don't you feel?
Man, this is just gold.
I might have this edited.
Gold.
I'm going to try and have this edited before I go to bed.
Yeah.
And up.
I want to get through this pain. I want to get through this pain together. Like, we know how to do it.
Well, we're not going to dock our dicks together to do it. I'll tell you that. Like, to get through this. It might be together.
Man, our pain's more, across the ether side. Seriously. Look, our pain's more across the ether. We were getting it. Like, I mean, we're going to get the blue. We're going to get the blue out. We're going to make a balloon up.
The person who's designated as my wife, like, she gave me, like, she put heaps of shit on me about.
She's your rock. She's your true rock in your life with those. Well, I mean,
Well,
in
she
her
could be.
way.
If she could be.
Yeah, in her way, bud. Like
Well,
you've been consistent because
I've never spoken to her.
you
I've
keep
fucking
together
killed
for
it.
the kids, right? No.
No.
From
My
my perspective, like
my actual
she
wife.
never calls. She never calls our boy. He has to prompt her.
No.
That's the way
I'm
I'm
not
at the
talking
moment.
about
Yeah,
mother of my children. I'm talking about my wife.
Yeah.
Like
Yeah.
American
Okay.
person.
Mm-hmm.
They because they were feeling.
Year of the belittling.
Yes, year of the major
Every time you
belittling.
talk to her, late major belittling.
Well, not in the end.
It's simp minus, Si.
I mean, I don't. I'm banned. I'm
It's
finished.
simp
I banned
minus. Like every
Banned.
time you talk about her, like talk about
it
fucking
was
going in
brutal.
circles, bud.
That was brutal.
Yeah.
But what I was trying to say
I
is,
know.
like, from that, like, I looked up all sorts of resources on this matter. When you're talking about, like, the male genital mutilation, like the abuse, the verbal abuse, and like just the abuse you gave me.
Everything.
Like, I've spent,
Yeah.
I've invested energy. I've thought about the suings. All of the stuff. Like this, you go on Facebook and you look up, like, there's groups, there's male
But
groups
now
on
that
there.
you've explained it with that, the way they look at it, bud, and it's nothing more than a fucking ear piercing.
How women look at it.
Yeah.
That was a female researcher.
Well, that's the reason why they get noses pierced, bud, because you're gonna be that Zeus's first mistake, get your nose pierced.
As in the Minotaur, because they had sex with the thing.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, I feel your circularity on the subject because, I don't know, I got to a place that
Eventually we'll get to it. Like
Well, the place I got to was,
season 5 episodes.
Am I willing to sue? Because that's where it gets to. It's really like, am I willing to
go to that next level?
Because otherwise, what am I going to do is just go around and start shooting people who do it or something? I don't know. Like, what's
no,
like what?
Not
like,
necessary.
what's the point? Like, I
not
don't know.
Necessary, so.
I mean, I've, I don't know.
Push club acceptance. Like you've been initiated.
There are Facebook groups.
Where's the
if you want to get into the pain of it,
finger pointing at the left hand? You know what I mean?
There are groups on Facebook that focus on it with heaps of men on there, like talking about their sensitivity loss, all sorts of things, the mutilation that's been done to them. Yeah. Go join a group, I guess. Like, I mean, I don't know.
During the massages.
Well, then you just get a whole heap of people going in circles.
Like, have a look.
All sorts. You can read all about people's stories, man.
That sounds like unlimited. That sounds like unlimited, suffering of the loss of the tiny piece of.
But you can go on to porn sites and you can definitely see that like people who haven't been mutilated still have tiny dicks. Don't worry.
A gold thing in your ear versus.
It's not been mutilated.
Severance.
Don't worry about that. A lot of those, cuckolds in like chastity freaking penis clamps, like they're not circumcised. They got tiny dicks, man. They got tiny dicks. You might be great. You just haven't seen enough. Maybe your problem is you haven't seen enough dicks.
My hair's actually improving. Like, it's less grey than it was yesterday because since the Olympics I've been laughing so hard, seriously.
Maybe.
Like, it's been Blue Man experience on the way. I want to hear Blue Man drums on the way out. Like,
well, I don't have any of those.
Copyright. Let's get the Blue Man
maybe
experience going on the background.
Maybe it's time to bring up the outro and so I can start rendering this shit out.
A good night, an actual good night, Si. This has been perfect.
It's been pretty good. I'm glad we found that document.
Productive.
We've got to read that more. We've got to read that more. It's been reproductive.
Man, I'm going to study it. I've already copied it. Like, it's in my catalogue, right?
I've got it on my desktop.
Go through that hard.
It's on my desktop.
I'm going to pull bloody quotes from that next
people.
week after the severe massaging, which is going to happen to the head of my
vitamin
family.
E. You want to make sure there's enough of a coating that it lasts the day. Like it's sort of a decent coating. So it doesn't dry out. It's got to stay moist the whole day.
It's going to be difficult, but I will try. I will start early. I'll get up in the regiment.
That didn't work. Oh, the outro played. Hang on, I've got to play the outro again. I've got to stop it. I've got to try. Oh, no, if I stop it.
Alexis, this is gold.
If I stop it, it doesn't work. Hang on. I'll play it.
Damn.
Play the thing.
Yeah, ground cover.
I've got to fade us out.
Man, I feel relieved. Like, every season is another therapy session. So, like, we're psychoanalyzing